Another Sunday, another tournament, man. It's actually kind of, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Closing in on the last couple platinum events of the year here. We got some golds in the middle. We can check in on Europe. It's been a little bit since we've seen what Europe's been up to. We've had, there was, B Pro Cup, I believe. Oh, I forget. Was it in, I forget if it was somewhere in Southeast Asia or if that was in Korea or if I'm mixing it up with another one, but we had that. Oh, yeah, there is a little bit of bad news as well, actually. I gotta go show you this. Just give me 1 sec here. There we go. All right. And then I grab this guy, and I put him down there, and then I kill this fella, and then I come over here, and then I do that, and this, and that, and this, and we're good to go. Amazing. Yeah. So I do have a slight bit of. I mean, for like some people, this will be good news, but for most people, this is probably not good news. Hello, Jellybean. How you doing? For most people, this is probably not good news. I actually have no idea who's in this top 8, who wins it. Skill is right there. Dudikoff is right there. That's cool. So I have to be very careful to not accidentally spoil myself here. But I would like to just go to the Liquipedia real quick. Actually, you know what I can do? I can just do this. Liquipedia. There it is. Yeah, okay. Because this is not the bracket that we're going to be watching today, but this is a bracket that happened earlier today. Or not earlier today, sorry. This is like yesterday or something like that. But yeah, there's a bracket, relatively big, and again, another gold event that happened in Thailand right here. And, I mean, Shio won it. So, there's another, that's back-to-back weekend dubs for Shio and for Luane there. Funny thing is that second place was also Luane. That's why. Well, this is not the bracket we're going to be watching today, but this did happen. And I just wanted to share the bad news with everyone. Luane got first and second in this top 8. Looks like Soares, Matera, Ladiva is very interesting. Looks like Soares, Matera, Anila, Uel, Siegfried, and Cagliostro. Okay. I mean, interesting top 8 there for sure. But yeah, Luane. We'll see. Hopefully that's not what happens here. Again, I actually this. Oh hi, hello there, Wolf. This I actually have not watched. I don't even know who's in top 8 for this. I believe this is the start of our top 8 right here. Like earlier, there were some matches and it said like bracket. Yeah. So I believe this is the beginning of our actual winners top 8 here. And it is Soares versus Matera, looks like. Skill versus Dudikoff. Does Dudikoff play Matera? I feel like I've... Yeah. That's true. That's right. I'm not as familiar with some of the European players. Soares versus Matera. This should not... I'm sorry for the French brothers there, but I'm going to have to turn you down a little bit. This should not be very good for Soares. There are very few characters that like fighting Matera, and Soares is not one of those characters. Right? But, I mean, skill is skill. Skill can just make shit work, even though it shouldn't sometimes. So we'll see. He is fully and 100% capable of just winning anyways, because he is skilled. But we'll have to see if he can actually pull it off. Actually, I've not seen a lot of Dudikoff playing Matera, so... Oh, okay, yeah. That is... Intercepting the dash punch with 6XL is new tech. I feel like I'm not super comfortable doing that, because it can certainly crush too, depending on the version, but... If you counter hit it, you counter hit it, I suppose. This looks bad just because any time where you're standing on the opposite side of the screen from Matera, it feels bad, right? This isn't the worst thing in the world. I mean, Matera is on 1 BP here. He... Oh! Dash punch is nice for just that quick burst option, right? Certainly Matera can just throw up walls and stuff like that to stop it, but Soares does at least have a way to very quickly just skip across the screen. Not you, actually, believe it or not. H, right? H dash... Oh, no. H dash punch lets him very quickly skip across the screen and close that distance. Even if he's minus, just being in Matera's face like that is very fun. Plus, he can RPS with some roundhouse kick nonsense. I was good. The round was looking pretty good, and now, I don't know, but sure. Yeah, U dash punch works. It's there, right? Like, Soares has some tools in this matchup. He has some tools in this matchup. You have to be very careful with how you use them. And certainly it's not like, you know, they're not get in on Matera free cards or anything like that, but he's not... His dash speed is quite low, which does hurt him here, but he's not entirely helpless fighting Matera. You just gotta use the tools well. And again, I mean, if anyone is gonna do that, I would not be surprised. Skill has been doing pretty well so far. Ow. Sure. Yeah, that bro, that shit is brave counter safe like all the time. What's the lockout in frames between close far L and 6XL again? What do you mean the lockout? Dude, I love the French commentator going, ah! Oh, dude, nice. This was actually really nice. I think this is a little stutter step, yeah. You can't dash immediately after 5L. Ooh, dude, this is sorry, I'm getting distracted by this this whiff punish here, so I'm not paying enough attention to your question. Bonk. Yeah, dude, that is so well. That is so good. Look at that spacing. You know? I mean, I'm glazing. I am glazing, but like, holy shit, look at the fucking stop. That perfectly done into the whiff punish to kill. I mean, it's just what you gotta do. It's just what you gotta do. I see Soares, I immediately come in many ways, yeah. You can't dash immediately after 5L, so even if you're +2, the 6XL isn't 7 frames. If you're +1 or +4, this is actually news to me. I know that you can't, there's 1 frame after your close L where you can't block, but to my understanding, you can do anything else. Including, like, move and jump and things like that. Maybe it also includes dash, so maybe there's maybe that 1 frame lockout applies to dashing too. But this idea that you can't dash after you 5L is news to me. I wish my Soares could be this godlike skill. He's doing God's work. Hi, keeping my viewing streak going. Back to bed. Enjoy peak French bullshit. No worries, Echo. I appreciate it. Have fun eeping. I was mostly discussing the skills doing far L 6XL. I was curious if there's delay tech timing to block a 2M but hit a 6XL. Well, far L 6XL just isn't a frame trap, right? I don't think the other reason I don't think you need a lockout because very few things are going to actually frame trap into 6XL. Far L 2M is? Yeah. And 6XL is the reset? Yes. I mean, there's not gonna be that big of a gap in, like, you could like do a fuzzy match, but the gap is very small, yeah. Like, the startup difference is, I should know this better off the top of my head. Is 6XL 8 frame startup and then 9 because of the dash, or is it 7 frame startup and 8 because of the dash? I think it's the other. I think it's the first one, right? 6XL is 8 frame startup and you have to hold dash for a frame, so it's actually 9. French gameplay, I know, right? Disgusting. 8 frame startup and 9 because of the dash? Yeah. So there's only a 2 frame gap in there. So, like, you could fuzzy match that, but it's not going to be easy to do consistently, right? And God forbid they, like, delay their 2M ever so slightly or something. Well, if they delay the 2M, then it doesn't become a frame trap anymore. But if you are focused on the fuzzy match, they can fuck you over for sure. Skill's pretty much the only person carrying Soares. I hardly think of other Soares players that had that amount of success. He is
very
the one that comes to mind for me, for sure, at least.
Incredibly smart and attractive.
What's going on, Lost? Thank you very much for the resub. The 5 months. Goddamn. Evening, folks. Good evening. Good evening. Enjoy this the Soares cooker right here. But I don't believe there's a lockout there, right? I don't think there's a thing where you can't dash after. Your follow-up question though of like, is there like an OS? Like, you could fuzzy mash it. It's just that it's not easy, right? Having your fuzzy match be reliant on catching a 2 frame timing is not going to be super consistent. Yeah, you can't roll the U arrow, the low U arrow from Matera there. It's heartbreaking stuff. Okay, I mean, this is winnable. I hate to just treat Dudikoff like the enemy here, but like, especially as like a grappler player, like every time I see a Matera, I'm always just, you know, hoping for the other guy that they can win. So that I do have some inherent anti-Matera bias. He's on chip here. Yeah, gets sniped out. Gets the toes. I thought the French played Fighter Z. -8 on blocked roundhouse thing. A Fang. I mean, a very good nerf. Like, definitely should have happened. Definitely needed to have happened. But certainly, it would have been... Soares has a much nicer time against Matera before that, right? Could Matera even punish that shit? Because her 2M is 8 frames, right? Her 2M is 8. Her far L is 8. Could Matera, like, not punish his roundhouse Fang before it got nerfed? What does she do to punish something at 7 frames? Her 2M's not 7, right? Her 2M's 8, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this is the funny Soares. Medium into heavy roundhouse there and just juggle your shit. Maybe her 2L? It wouldn't reach, like, most of the time. There's quite a bit of pushback on that roundhouse kick. You needed, like, a medium level, like, a medium range move, generally. This was just a, yeah. This can happen, right? A fair nerf for Soares, but sometimes it hurts when it happens. Yeah. So, like, I mean, again, very, very justifiable nerf to take that from -7 to -8, but it does make this probably a lot more annoying for Soares than it already even was. Oh, good pick up. God damn! Holy shit, what a good catch. Oh, not 11 frame startup on that armor on the 236U, right? So, very, very easy. To smack Soares out of that, dude, the spacing is stupid. Like, it's dumb what he's doing. Oh my god. The spacing on it, he's so good at standing. Like the backdash put him... It looked like he should have gotten hit there, I'm not gonna lie to you. It looked like he should have gotten hit. The backdash put him, like, a couple of pixels outside of the range of Matera 2M. That shit is stupid. Shit don't make no sense. What is all shit? He just might be the fucking GOAT. Very based character pick. And just ridiculous footsies. I mean, Soares is a character that is... Are there any CAGs in this footage? I have no idea who's in top 8. I actually don't know anything. You, France? Am I right? That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. But unfortunately, skill is the fucking GOAT, so I gotta watch this. I feel like there's a lockout with dashing, because specifically Vicala didn't have that lockout on release, and they removed it in a patch. I don't know. You might be right. I've never... This is literally news to me. I mean, if you can find those patch notes for Vicala, you can... We can try and understand what you're talking about. But yeah, this is, like, the last time we watched one of these, I knew that Shio won. I knew that it was, like, Loane domination. I actually have very little clue about this, except that it happened... this happened at, like, 6 a.m. my time, I think. Because goddamn European time zones. How goes he going on an undefeated streak versus the French? Well, you know. I'm actually, submitting to French entertainment currently, which, feels wrong, but... I hunger for the high-level Granblue, for the top-level Granblue. I must see it. I must have it. Oh, dude. Yeah. Not dead, though. I wonder if he could have with a Raging Strike extension there. He might not have had the meter, actually. I think he built the meter through the Aura, at which point Raging Strike isn't an option anymore. He's about to get SSB 8. He does live this, but... yeah? I don't know about all that. Found it? Let me see. Vicala. Fix an issue where she's sometimes able to move or perform dash actions immediately after a close standing light attack. Interesting. I know after close L, there's the one frame of lockout where you can't block. Perhaps it also applies to moving and dashing. I can see that. In which case, the lockout is probably one frame. If it does exist. Feels validating to see even pros be forced to just BC versus Soares pressure. That man's scary. Yep. I'm rooting for skill because I'm biased for Soares. Same, to be honest. Soares is one of my favorite characters in the game. The only characters that I will root against Soares on are probably... I mean, it probably is like straight up... It's just Ladiva or Wilness, probably. Are the only two characters that I might root for over Soares. I kind of fucking love this guy. Skill to go? Dude, he is making this matchup look not so bad, honestly. And, like, again, I was mentioning it earlier. There are, like, Soares is not a helpless little kitten in this matchup, right? He does have a couple of tools, like, mostly that, really. Like, just the existence, it's such a fast neutral skip. And yes, it's minus, but it just lets him get straight into Matera's grill. Even minus is not so bad. Plus, it's also just really scary to get clipped by... If you get counter hit by that thing in the mid-range, Soares hits you for, like, 4k, right? You might think it's the U dash punch, but it's more the H dash punch that really lets him try to sneak his way in here sometime. He's just dead. Damn, no BP. But yeah, so Soares does actually have Soares has some serious tools, right, to fight Matera in this matchup. It's just he is still like a rushdown character with relatively slow dash speed. Like there are going to be moments where he's just going to sit on the other side of the screen and never get to play the video game and wants to uninstall and switch to Beatrix. Like it's gonna happen. But he's a lot more competent here than you might expect just by looking at the two archetypes on paper, if that makes sense. So he also, I mean, it really, really does help that Soares, he does so much damage off of any hit that he finds anywhere. Yeah, he does so much damage off any hit he finds anywhere, even in the mid-screen these days. Soares does not need to hit Matera that many times, right? That matters. Like, he has to... It is not easy to get turns on Matera. And Soares just needs Soares needs so much fewer of them. And even just getting Matera to block his shit, he does so much shit. Helps the skill's done a very good job keeping dude in the corner so she can't actually zone. Yeah, I mean, very, very difficult. I mean, for what it's worth, right? Just to be very clear, because I know, like, if we see other Materas, I'm gonna keep talking about how difficult it is for the whole fucking cast to fight her. Zoning is hard to do, right? Matera is very strong. It is very difficult to keep good players away from you, even on Matera, right? Like, even on, like, so I just want to make that clear, that it's also, like, it's really hard for Dudikov to navigate that matchup, even if it is favored for him. The problem with playing, like, you know, these is, like, you can just, if you do, like, fuck up a couple of times, you're just in the corner and die. So I do want to give Dudikov his flowers, too. But, like, what I was gonna say originally is, like, this is a very difficult matchup for Soares to navigate, and it just looks like, right? He just makes it look like it's not that bad, right? He just makes it look like it's not that bad at all. I mean, it's a combination of really being very clever on when he sneaks in the neutral skips, and just, I mean, it happened a couple of times where, this is actually what I was talking about in the whiff punishing video, right? He did a couple of times where he kind of walks right into, like, the tip of Matera's button, the tip of that range, and, like, stops, right? She whiffs a button, he whiff punishes it. Right, just dancing in and out of that range. He did that a couple of times. It was very, very well done. Because Matera wants to keep you out. Matera will and has very good buttons to keep you out. If you understand the range of her buttons very well, you understand when that Matera is likely to press a button. You can really bait them into just murdering themselves. Because outside of her far L, notably, Matera does have a decent bit of recovery on a lot of her buttons too. Soares is basically my ride or die character. I've been a Soares main for 4 or 5 years. He was pretty shit in vanilla, right? That's my understanding. Soares is supposed to have been pretty assy McAssface in vanilla. So if you've been maining him all the way since back, because Soares is really damn good now, I would say. But that is the actual ride or die shit there. Wasn't he like bottom 3 clean or something? Matera does usually have the advantage of switching between zoning and rushdown on a bit of a dime, but if you're really good at rushdown, she can't use that much. I mean, oh my god, what is happening? Why is this Ladiva a fairy? This person, what is, huh? Is this a button check, or am I being punished? Is god awful when he released in vanilla? Yeah. This is the problem, man, is like, if you even have like a pocket fairy, like, I mean, it's not like you have to prepare for Ladivas and brackets that much usually, but just like learning a pocket fairy to send this fucking character to the Shadow Realm is very tough. Go Ladiva, let them cook. Hi, hello, May. Hello, Cassie. This looks like it's a button check, but I mean, I don't know if it actually is gonna end up being Ladiva versus Fairy. I'm a little scared. Yeah, it looks like it is. All right. Well, Vivi. Oh, Mordecai. Yeah, so true. I see this fella in Ladiva Cord. Let's see. I've actually seen them play very much. I'm excited to. Always fun to see a Ladiva, though. It's always. I feel like, you know. I don't even know. Vivi. I'm unfortunately I'm unfamiliar with them. I don't even know if they are a fairy main. It just feels like it's one of those things where, like, you know, if you can like have like a pocket zoner in your back, and then just if you run into a character like this, you just pull out the fairy, and the matchup is real hard. Like it's very valid. It's very valid, right? This is still, I think, probably the character that Ladiva fights the worst. Matera is not great, obviously, and a lot of the mid-range characters are also very rough for her. But it's like there's something particularly soul-crushing. Oh my god! About Fairy being a normals-based zoner against a character with entirely anti-projectile, anti-zoning options. Yeah. Oh my god, you headbutt. Wait, hold on. This does happen. Oh my. All you have to do. Now you might be like, oh, he just won. All you have to do is be right on 4 guesses in a row, and you win. Easy. Easy. All you have to do, right, is hard call out the far M with you headbutt, hard call out the backdash with you lariat, right? Hard call out the jump with auto combo, and then hard call out the DP with down back. Back to back to back to back till you stop rapping, and it's actually easy. The matchup is actually super fucking easy if you do all of those things. Holy, dude, you headbutt is doing work right now. Holy shit. They've thrown out like 6 U headbutts in the past round and a half, and every single one of them has hit. Oh, yeah, backdash. Diva does despise the backdash. Oof, nice. Tried to call out a backdash with you lariat, but was a little late on the draw, and now this is happening. You're pissing me off. Unfortunate. Doesn't have GG ready for the basketball combos, at least. You're right 7 times in a row, and God loves you, and Jupiter is in retrograde. This is the Diva favorite. It is kind of how it feels, yeah. It's a very scary matchup for a Fairy to play because things can go pretty wrong, but like this shit is super Fairy favorite. Retrograde your Jupiters, yeah. Sometimes you gotta flip your planets the other way or some shit. What is it? They spin. Yeah, 2U is actually very this is something that I when I was doing the Ladiva GM climb a few months ago. This is something that I figured out. Is like 2U is really good in this way. Oh no! Throwing random 2Us out. Just because it crushes every single button that Fairy can use, except for far H, which it clashes with. Yeah. Having a heavy attackable move, you can, and like, you know, yeah, you can get punished for it, but the reward on it landing is just you hard knock down Fairy and get in for free. Ow. Does her 2U hit the Fairy lows? Yeah. It hits far M as well. I'm not actually sure how it works with far H. So it crushes 2L, 2M, and far M. I'm not sure if it clashes with far H or they trade. Okay. Oh, dude, these U headbutts have been just exquisite. Can I be real with you for a second? Oh no! What was that? What happened? Did they try to DP and they... I have to imagine they tried to DP on reaction there and they fucked it up. Wait, hold on. Hold on, the Ladiva Mind Virus. Does it lose to the grab thing? Dispensed? Oh, it totally could, yeah. It should clash her far H because it clashes with normal ones. Hers are a level lower. No, not anymore. Fairy's far H is a real heavy now, right? That was the buff she got in the Sandalphon patch. Her far M and far H are real mediums and heavies. I'm more talking about, I don't know if they clash or if they trade because their hitboxes don't interact. You know what I mean? If they trade, that's actually quite good for Ladiva. If they clash, it's also not so bad for Ladiva. Because if they trade, Fairy gets hard knockdowns. If they clash, Ladiva's airborne and can like JL in. But I actually can't remember how the interaction works off the top of my head. I wonder if we'll see it. This is rough. But yeah, these like run-up U headbutts to call out Fairy trying to keep him out is really, really well done. Other characters besides Sora. Sora is my favorite character in recent memory of a fighting game. That's how I feel about, well, honestly, Ladiva, and then honestly, like, bro, Wilmus is, he's different. Granblue might have 2 of my favorite fighting game characters ever. Ladiva being airborne on 2U clash is so good for her. Yeah, man. Yeah, 2U is huge in this matchup. Just in general, no. That's one of those ones, if you hadn't JU'd there, she just whiffs DP and you live, right? JU extends your hurt box back around to the other side. You get smacked by Updog and things go terribly for you. Rick loves the beef that kills you to death. It's true. It's true. Yeah, I mean, that's just maybe trying to hard call something out there, but that you lariat, very reactable at that point. Headbutting Gigi is interesting. I didn't think of, I mean, Gigi is a projectile. I'm not sure what the oh my, dude, 2U doing work. Let's go. Holy shit. She's not dead. She's not dead, but it's a lot closer than you might expect. Assuming this was 720, of course. Yeah. You might look at the HP she got hit at from there and you go, oh, well, she's obviously not dead. No, it's close. Right? Like a little bit more and she actually died from that health, from that SSBA. 15,000 health, right? No brave points and Ladiva 720 raw. That super does a ridiculous amount of damage, man. Necessary qualification at 75% health. She's not dead, just so you know. Ladiva's SSBA is different, man. As much as I dislike grapplers or like the strategy Mortazai is presenting in neutral, yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, this matchup is so bad for Ladiva. Like, he has to like really, oh god. He has to be on his big brain shit. Just got here any Vasaraga seen yet? No. Actually, I don't know who's in the top 8, but so far, we've seen Sora's Matera and Fairy Ladiva. Oh no, he didn't confirm it, dude. She was like, there's no way. She's dead this time. She's dead this time, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I love this character, man. I need to play more. I was just thinking, I was having the thought yesterday. I was like, I want to get all the characters back to 1,000 gems, just so I just want to play Ladiva and Wilness for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? Like, I actually, like, and this is, like, Mortazai is a fucking inspiration, man. Like, I actually, like, this shit, like, it brought that thought, like, just full frontal back into my brain. You know, I'm glad, I want us to get done with getting everyone to 1,000 gems, because I just want to play Ladiva and Wilness for the rest of my fucking existence, man. Fairy has average HP? No, she has 1k less. She has 15k. That's a big reason. Average HP is very close to dead there, but not quite. That Fairy died there because of her Fairy HP. That's slightly more normal than I thought. I mean, the only characters with less HP than that are Seox and Avatar Belial. Generally, there are, like, there's the 6? Is it 5? 5 strata, right? There's 14,000 HP characters, which is Seox and Avatar technically, you know, don't really buy it. He's like a 10,000 health character. There's 15,000 HP characters, which is Fairy, Matera, Nier, Lancelot, Meg. Is there any? Is there someone else that I'm missing? I can't remember. There might be one other person. Oh, Vikala. Yes, Vikala is also 15k. Yeah. And then 16k is like most of the roster. And all, you're not dead here, but it's a lot of damage. 16k is most of the roster. 17k is Sora's, Siegfried, and Wilness. Holy shit, dude, he's just the best. He actually makes this matchup look Ladiva favored. It's crazy. What the fuck? He's just the world's greatest. And Versuja, yeah. Sora's, Siegfried, Wilness, Versuja. And then 18k is only Ladiva and Vasaraga. Did that beat UDP? Yeah, it's super armor. It beats everything. I actually don't know. I don't think it. I should know this better off the top of my head. It's been too long since I played Ladiva, man. I don't think it beats supers. But it fucking might, man. It fucking might. I can't remember if you headbutt beats supers or not. Oh, dude. Preemptive brave counter, but not rewarded for it. Alright. Hold up. VV back in it. It can. Actually, I don't. That sounds right because most it's like for example, Vasaraga Soulforge armor beats supers, but Vasaraga 2-2U armor does not. So it is like on a case-by-case basis. Diva's reversal is armored, not invuln? Yes, that's correct. It beats my B SSBA? Okay. It's good to know since I presume that means you can grab her out of it? Yeah. That is basically the main, I mean, that and spot dodging it on reaction are the only real answers to it now because it's safe on block. That is like the thing that they did for her, is that her, the headbutt is safe on block now. So you have to either spot dodge it when you see it coming, or you have to throw her out of it. It does? Gotcha. I forgot how weird neutral looks in that Ladiva versus Fairy matchup at times. Yeah, I mean, it's just two of the most polarized characters in the game, right? So the neutral ends up being, like, super freaky. Does it beat the strike before the big fireball? I mean, if supers are supers. If it beats the fireball, it'll beat everything else. It'll beat, like, the upward, you know, it'll beat, like, the slash in, like, Fairy SSBA. Things that are supers are just given super properties. Uh-oh. Guess for game. Oh, he wasn't scared of the SSBA. He's jumping. Fuck! Yeah. I could see that one out the fucking corner of my eye. You get so... One thing with Ladiva is you get... If you play Ladiva for long enough, you get very acquainted with what the first couple frames of the entire roster's jump look like. You just get... Because you got to scout for that shit. It's... Oh, man. Guess for game twice in a row. The Ladiva curse, yeah. You get really familiar with what the first couple frames of jump squat look like for the whole cast. But like next time though, desire to SSBA as much as possible. I mean, weirdly enough, if he had SSBA'd as much as possible, he would have won. The first time, Vivi had to guess for game twice there. The first time they guessed no SSBA and they were right. If he had SSBA there, it would have just killed them. Dude, this is super winnable. Okay, no, not anymore. No. Okay. I don't know if Mortisai ran out of juice or what, but this is more so what the matchup normally looks like. They, for a second there, they were making it look like this shit was like even or some shit. They're making it look Ladiva favored. But don't get it twisted. The shit, it is not. This is horrendous. It's one of the worst matchups in the game. Ow. Oh, blocking the 2Us. No punish, though. Hold on. My ancestors are smiling upon me, Imperials. Can you say the same? Oh. A little bit of a fumble there. I mean, we'll take it. We'll certainly fucking take it, man. Don't mind me. This is just me taking it. What the hell? Oh! Say ooh la la. This is not looking so hot, fellas. This is not looking so good for our hero. He might be in trouble. They're saying set point in French. I'm scared. It's like Abel's and Chip. Ladiva SSBAs are SSBA are rabbit animals. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Roll 2U. It still works. You just gotta believe. Aw, shit. Uh-oh. Should lab Ladiva sometime later. Best character in the game. Oh, nice backdash chase. Holy shit. Oh, no. Panini, why? Panini, why? Oh, Panini. Panini, why would you do one of our own like this? Panini is obviously, he's in charge of every... oh, no. Panini is in charge of every Ladiva's far H coming out or not coming out. He just went for it. Oh, it's been jumped. But it's so ridiculously safe. Panini, why? Panini! Panini, you're supposed to give him close H there. Panini, you're supposed to give him close H there, not far H. Oh my god. Dude, that was so many chances. The headbutt, I mean, they were all just very hard to... Like, that random headbutt was very hard to hit confirm. The 2 far H's, I both times, I thought maybe you were close enough for close H there. That's tough. Panini is in charge of every Ladiva far H. If a far H ever comes out, whether it's on purpose or on accident, that was Panini's hand guiding the far H into your controller. So, we can, in fact, blame him for this. It is valid. You might be wondering if it's fair to blame Panini for Mortisai losing that set. I would say so, yeah. I would say, in fact, you should write him a strongly worded letter asking him why he hates Mortisai. It's probably a very fair and valid thing to do here. So, I mean, he could have even brought it back there, but you hate to see the reverse 2-0. Well, 3-0. But he could have brought it back. It's just that last, there were like 3 game-winning hit confirms there, and a couple of guesses. A couple of guesses went Vivi's way, just which is, you know, it's what it is in the Ladiva matchup. And there were just a couple of game-winning hit confirms that got missed. Why is Dave Franco commentating? Doesn't Franco mean French? Isn't that like what that last name means? Holy shit, it's a bot. Hold on, let me mod them real quick. You've been getting more of those these days. What the fuck is wrong with Twitch, man? There you go. I was like, let me ban the goddamn bot. Father, I wish to shoot the bots. Zoe Versuja? What? It's a lot of far H's he has to manage. I think it's fair for him to slip up occasionally. I don't think so. Whoa. Beatrix. Choix de niveau de la musique. Their names are so stupid. Folding center? What is a folding center? Some of your names are kind of stupid too, man. Zavid and Calling? Calling? Interesting. Curious, even. Zoe versus Beatrix, huh? What do you mean Cassie's a perfect name? It's relatively normal. Versuja? No, I'm sorry, I lied to you. They played Versuja in the button check, but she's not actually coming out for the match, it looks like. I am unfamiliar with both of these players, so I'm not sure if it's like they normally play Versuja, but they don't really like her into Zoe, so they're just picking Beatrix because, you know, a lot of people have a pocket Beatrix. Or if they were just picking Versuja for the funny. Le Battle Pass, that's true, that's true. Zoe spotted in top 8, that's true. Fell for the button check again award. Zoe spotted in top 8. I mean, there's people been talking like those Zoe buffs are a bigger deal than I think they are. But maybe they're right. I don't know. I think Zoe is fine now. I think she is better than she was. I think she was pretty weak before, and I think she is pretty okay now. I still don't know. I don't know that I would use the word strong to describe Zoe to this day. Maybe I'm wrong. I bet on the cute girl with a sword. So Zoe, right? Ow, ow. Zoe B is slightly B favored. B does struggle to punish her 6-6H a lot. -8. Sin crying hearing the Zoe buff takes. I actually don't know what Sin's opinion is. Bonk. I know Tubby has been talking like it's just kind of, you know, again. Tubby's impression seems to be similar to mine. Ow, ow. Could B not riding free Zoe's 6XL somewhat reliably? Riding free does go under 6XLs, but that's not a matchup specific thing. I mean 6-6H? There's a lot more damage than she used to get there. I'm not sure. Zoe's 6-6H is rollable, I believe. Right? The armor doesn't cover lows. It is a rollable move. Depends on the timing. I think if you get the low profile out, you probably are fine, yeah. Oh, Prada. What's going on? Thank you for the raid. We're watching, oh, Greg, hello. We're watching this this French gold event that happened earlier today. I would have watched it live, but it happened at fucking 6 a.m. my time, so here we are now. Yeah, what's up, Prada? Hope you had a good stream. And hello, Gregathan. 2-2L and 2-2M lose to Zoe 6-6H. Only H and U beat it? Why is that? Wait, how? The low profile is no different on them, right? Is it just... Is it speed diff? Are they not fast enough to actually punish it? Yeah, what's up, Prada? Ow, ow. Been away a long time. Last time I checked, Versuja was like a top 3 character. How much has changed? I mean, maybe some people would still argue that. I think Versuja is still very strong. Versuja is, you know, a vaguely top tier, like, or low top tier character or something like that, but... The armor will eat the rising hitbox? Oh, yeah, I see. Oh, I see. H has the lows right away. That makes sense. That's why. H has the lows right away, so it can actually get... Well, actually, only the first hit of H is a low these days, right? So it's a little bit harder. Hey, Brickolo there. Suanio is always how I said your name, but I don't know if it's correct. That's how I read it in my head, though. This, yeah, Raw Laser is a really good starter here. Oh my god! Negative edge? Never mind, man. Zoe's top 1. Yeah, you're saying it right. I'm good at that, I think. I am good at, like, sight reading names. M will sometimes win by just doing, going into the entirety of it, but it's unreliable. Yeah. If that was only the first blocked hit is a low, not only the first part is a low. Actually, I don't remember how that nerf went. What is it, Cassie? Is it, like, because I know when you're blocking it, you can stand up midway through now. But I thought they just made only the first hit a low. I don't think it was when it was blocked. I thought they changed the hit property of all of the successive hits after the first one. First blocked hit? Oh, okay. Well, that's nice for it then. That definitely makes it a lot nicer for something like beating Zoe 6-6H. In that case. Yeah, I forgot the exact wording on the notes there. What the fuck, Lil Wayne? Don't do this to me. The bottom tier ass Beatrix wasn't good enough to beat Zoe, and now he's going to the dark side. Both ways work exactly the same, though. What do you mean? If the hits after the first one weren't a low, couldn't you potentially have a problem where the if he was far enough away, you wouldn't get the hit? Or does it just start up the same canned animation regardless? I don't think that's true. First hit would always be the first one to touch her toes. Which move we're discussing? Beatrix 2-2H riding free. I thought it was like as the move went on, it did the hits. Does it always just do the first hit, and then once the first hit connects, it does the same canned animation of all the other hits? That's a subtle difference, but it does matter, actually. I see what you mean. I was under the impression that it was, like, basically, she just did the hits as she moved. It's first hit, then canned animation. Fair enough. Okay. Then yeah, never mind. It wouldn't have mattered how they nerfed it. That's good to know. Ow. Ow. Oh. Broken ass Narmaya. Switching off of Beatrix to play Narm. This must mean that Narmaya is stronger than Beatrix, yes? Classic. Good to see that even this high up, they're still doing fucking, what is it? 2L, 5L, 2M, Genji, far H. It's just the block string. Narm greater than B. Damn, I knew it. Yep, yep. Low tier ass Beatrix, broken ass Narmaya. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, stinky. That is really nice that she gets to kill for no meter there. She had an extension too, yeah. Look at that. There was still more combo there these days. Zoe does do some pretty crazy damage off certain hits, especially if, you know, where she transitions from the mid-screen to the corner. You can start doing a lot of damage these days. Matchups at work right there. Oh! Yeah, no. Does Zoe have a cross-up button? I actually can't remember. I feel like I remember when I played her that she didn't have one, and I was sad about that. She finally got modernized with that one change in her DP. It's nice. I still don't. I don't know. I don't know if the take right now a lot of people have on Zoe is that she's like some really strong character now. I still feel like a lot of Zoe's like fundamental problems to me are still basically the same. But she is just stronger for sure. Personally, super high on Zoe. I value that meterless mid-screen off 6XL a lot. She does get, like, you know, she does get good shit off her auto combo these days. And she has a very good 6XL. So if she does get the 6XL close enough to hit 6XL close M, you are going to explode. You're going to get carried a very far distance and take a lot of damage. Highly valid. Like this right here. It's quite nice. It's not, like, insane, mind you. But, like, for being completely meterless, that's, like, what? Probably, like, 3k and, like, half the screen carry. Like, you're not going to be mad at that at all. Nice. Dead. I think she's really reliant on getting close button hits mid-screen, else she just kind of does hit into Rekka. Yeah, yeah. I value that change to L Dragon given a small combo on counter hits. That actually, like, the more I think about it, that change feels like the one that really matters the most, you know? People talk a lot about the DP change. I feel like Zoe Light Dragon knocking down on regular hits is fucking annoying. Like, I feel that a lot when I'm fighting her these days. It's the same buff they gave to Eustace Flamek, and that shit became really annoying too. It really matters, turns out, right? It makes the tool significantly better as a zoning tool, and yeah, she does get a combo off it on counter hit. That buff is really nice for her, for sure. L Dragon knockdown is also huge. Yeah, yeah, yeah. With how much more consistently she gets the corner / executes in the mid-screen, doesn't it offset the Dragon Gauge weakness by not having to rely on it on long range as much? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think, to me, Zoe's fundamental problem is still getting, like, basically no reward ever off any of her far buttons. I feel like the gauge isn't that big of a weakness. It is, for sure. She just has to play around it, right? And she can definitely, like, once she's snowballing, she can make it not matter as much if she ends combos with U-Dragon and stuff like that. Then she kind of, like, spends the gauge and gets it back. But Zoe definitely does have to play around the fact that she can run out of her ability to be a character until she gets that first hit. But yeah, to me, the biggest problem with Zoe has always been the fact that, again, Zoe hits you with a far M and she does literally nothing. I've mostly seen people talk about the gauge. I thought it was the biggest weakness of the character. I mean, it doesn't feel great, though they did make a lot of, like, they made the dragon moves all better, right? That is one thing. They made L Dragon and M Dragon, and H Dragon, but mostly L and M. They made them a lot better. So that's quite nice. But for me, at least, that I think the gauge is a problem. But my biggest problem with Zoe has always been the fact that she is... Yeah, like, she just hits you with her, like, pretty... Like, she has some pretty good buttons, right? Like, her 2M in particular is a really nice mid-range button. She just doesn't get anything. Lots of characters do nothing when they hit you with far M. It's not good. And a lot of those characters can at least do something if they have 50 meter, yeah? A lot of those characters can at least do something if they have 50 meter or if they get a counter hit. Zoe isn't one of those people. If Zoe got more off her really good buttons, I feel like she would actually be a bit too good. Maybe. I don't personally see it that way, I don't think. Although that's time to rise, indeed. Sandalphon versus Versuja, what the hell? Maybe I have the wrong conception of Zoe. Like, maybe I'm conceiving of Zoe as a mid-range character. And getting nothing off your far M as a mid-range character is pretty rough. Even with meter. Maybe she actually is, like, maybe she has a different game plan. In that game plan, it doesn't matter as much, or she doesn't get as much off her far M or 2M or something like that. But think of Zoe as a 6XL bot. It's not that good, right? Like, yes, she has maybe the best 6XL in the game, but it's not that good to just, like... Because, you know what? Everyone else can kind of be a 6XL bots, too. Woo Versuja, indeed. It's actually happening this time. Who doesn't have the best 6XL in the game at this point? Most people who aren't Zoe, yeah. That's why I always thought Zeta's still good, even after the fuzzy nerf. A good mid-screen game with good conversion and at worst, meterless corner carry. Yeah, I mean, Zeta, a lot of Zeta shit is freaky, the way, like, the combos have to actually work. But she has even better, like, meterless carry than, I mean, she has the best meterless carry in the game, straight up. She could, like, carry you back and forth if she wanted to. You just have to do a bunch of fucking 1-frame 9-3 links or whatever the fuck. Plus, I mean, she has a reversal she can combo off of, yeah. People say that Belial, Catalina, Beatrix, all of the best 6L in the game. I don't even know what to think anymore. I mean, best, like, it's... A lot of it is determined by your initial dash speed, and then there are very slight variations in the actual moves. But it's basically, yeah, there are standout 6XLs that didn't get nerfed in the patch where they nerfed all the good 6XLs, basically. And then they released a bunch of DLC characters with similar sort of 6XLs, and now that's where we land, is how you think of it. I think it was it the Vayne patch or something, where they took a lot of the better 6XLs down. The hitbox is also different between characters, yes, but not tremendously so, generally. 6XL is generally pretty good, so I don't know if having the best one does much. I kind of agree. And again, it's like, Zoe does get very good carry off of her auto combo, right? Oh my, fuck you, Jesus. Zoe does get very good carry off of her auto combo, but it's also not... Like, the shit she's doing is not ridiculous meterless, yeah? The shit she's doing is not, like, ridiculous off of her auto combo. I don't think 6XL should be larger than my far M. I kind of disagree. That's kind of the whole thing that they're there to do, actually, is be larger than your far M. I think that actually is one of the primary purposes the button serves in the neutral, is to be a burst option. Ow. Both are 9-frame buttons, but one is +2. Yeah. 6XL is, like, stronger than every button in the game. It's designed that way. Ow. I think instant 6XL should not be a thing. I don't think I mind 6XL neutral too much, honestly. What I've landed these days is that 6XL is maybe a little too good in pressure, primarily. Ow. Get counter hit, nerd. I just want my dash normals to feel like I had to dash to use them. It's a weird thing, because even, like, I don't know, I think of, like, Tekken while running moves, and like the whole thing about while running moves is the best way to do them is to do them instantly by doing the the inputs, you know. Make 6XL even? I think that's a horrible idea. No offense. I just think like the entire fucking video game is balanced around 6XL being +2. What I do think we've talked about it before, but I think you could make 6XL 2L attack or clash level, and you could also maybe make it air blockable. Those are good starts. Both of those things should definitely happen at the very least. Make it so sticking out any button, if you stick out a 2L, it'll crush it. I'm just spitballing. I'm sorry. I just see there's a lot of 6XL discourse. You did kind of catch us stray there. That was me talking to a guy who isn't you in my head. But yeah, I think making it 2L clash level, so just like it dies to a far L and clashes with a 2L. If you ever throw out one of those like defensively, it dies. And then also making it air blockable, so that jumping a 6XL, and maybe if it gets air blocked, it's actually minus.
Grabbed, comma, nerd.
Right. So, you know, jumping out of the corner is actually a very valid option to beat 6XL then. Brick made a straw man, gave it Khan's face, then shot the real Khan. Yeah, and I was like, why would Twitter do this? Also, Dax Alpha. Thanks for the follow, man. Make the attacker trip and fall on 6XL whiff and add OTG. Yeah, make it like Smash Brawl, where you have like a 10% chance every time you 6XL to just fall and be like -70. Or I also would have also thought that was a serious take, since I've actually seen people say it should be even or minus. Yeah, I mean, you could make 6XL minus on block. You have to remake the game from the ground up. Yeah. Ow. Bonk. Sure. She's fucking dead? I've seen a lot of 6XL being used to catch defensive jumps, and it's mad annoying. Yeah, I think 6XL definitely just shouldn't be an anti-air. Absolutely. There's no, like, it should be air blockable. And I could see a world where, like, if 6XL gets air blocked, like, if it like gets blocked by an airborne opponent, then maybe make it even or -1 or something like that. That's an interesting idea. -2 maybe, so like throws shenanigans, or minus. Problem with -2 is that people. No, you just block something, so you'll have throw protection. Yeah. So -2 is actually fine. If only if it's air blocked. Could be an interesting little thing. I wonder what would need to change for 6XL to be minus. I mean, you probably have to like get Brave Counter out of the video game, first off. Brave Counter and 6XL are like intertwined. You probably have to like remove Brave Counter from the video game. Deal? Yeah. You probably have to make... You probably have to... I don't even know, because like... You probably have to make a lot of button... Like, you might have to change something at, like, the fundamental system. You might have to, like, remove throw protection or something like that. You might have to remove the post-block stun throw protection. So people, like, have... So throw is, like... If you know, so you can, like, meaty throw people or something. Yeah, I mean, I'm not even talking about, like, character level changes, too. You might have to remove throw protection so you can throw loop people. Wait a minute! Yes, please take them both out. It's not just that, though, right? Ow, ow. Bonk. Be with a -6XL is a character I don't want to play? Yeah. It's just, I mean, basically what happens if you remove 6XL is you play a different fighting game. And though, like, fighting games without 6XL exist, yes. Right, but Granblue, like, it's not just like, oh, you remove 6XL and, like, you make a couple of changes here and there, but it's like, you have to redesign a lot of characters. You probably have to redesign system mechanics entirely. I haven't thought about it because it's, like, not worth giving the thought to, but... Do people hate Brave Counter? I think it's... I don't know if people hate the fundamental idea of a guard cancel, but BC is a little too strong. People complain about 6XL and guard cancel. I just think to myself, why aren't they playing Guilty Gear? Yeah. It's like, you can remove the drive gauge from Street Fighter 6. You could. And you would have to rebuild the game from the ground up if you did that. Or you could just go play a different video game if you don't like Street Fighter 6, you know? This is not me saying if you want any rebalancing to 6XL or Brave Counter, then you need to play a different video game. I think that's stupid. But it's like, if you want them removed from the game, I'm like, you're playing the wrong video game, I fear. I don't think they're ever going to take them out of the video. The whole fucking video game is kind of created with them in mind. That's fine. If you want to play a different fighting game, you absolutely can. There's nothing wrong with that either. What if 6XL was consistently minus on spot dodge? Would that ruin the game? The problem is, how do you do that? You could just add a shit ton more whiff recovery to it, but like, I guess 6XL and BC were not made broken. Just let them rebalance them. Yeah, I think like I think we're pretty close, honestly. Again, I think if Brave Counter doesn't hard knockdown, 6XL is air blockable, and you lower its clash level. If you, I mean, honestly, if you want to introduce like a new clash level for 6XL, so like, if you want to introduce a new clash level for 6XL, so that it's like it loses to even 2Ls, that could be interesting. I'm relatively new to Granblue in comparison to other players, and I admit, having people go like, this is 6XL nerf number 5 confuses me because like, the shit's annoying. How much worse was it? Worse, for sure. It was a lot worse. There's a lot less pushback on block. A lot of them were a lot bigger. I don't know about number 5, but those are kind of those are kind of it, right? Oh, and it scales combos now. It didn't scale combos before. That was a big one. I just don't like spot dodging 6XL and being entirely unsure whose turn it is. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of spot dodging anything, right? If you can spot dodge anything and be plus 30 or minus 29. Like, it just depends on how, used to be 20 frames instead of 25 on 6XL recovery. Yeah. It wasn't more plus, but it was, yeah, just, it was a lot harder to whiff punish. It was a lot harder to, like, it mattered a lot less to whiff it. 6XL into medium auto combo did like 3.7k. Yeah, and it wasn't universal. There were characters who got it and characters who didn't. They can get air blockable as a reasonable nerf, but I think that's it. They already nerfed it multiple rounds. I think air blockable is fine. I think it could you could lower its clash level. I don't think 6XL should not be beating buttons that people throw out. You know what I mean? It should be enforcing frame data, or like, and then, you know, you're plus, so you go. But I like the idea of 6XL losing to most buttons in the video game. I think if you do those two things, I don't think 6XL is bad suddenly. You know what I mean? If 6XL is air blockable and clash level 0, or even like you create like a new clash level -1 just for it or something like that, it's still very good. Still very good. Are you like backstab being the 6XL counterplay option to cause a whiff? Yeah, I mean, that is what it is currently. Because backdash is significantly shorter animation overall than 6XL, yeah. Backdash is 18 frames total. 6XL is 8 plus 3 plus 25 plus 1. 6XL is 37, backdash is 18. So at almost any point, if you backdash and a 6XL whiffs, you have enough frames to kill them. Yeah, that was so bad. The biggest reason I didn't main Sieg on launch. Yeah, I mean, I think some people wished that no one could get 6XL into auto combo, and that's a valid point, right? That's another one where now, like we just talked about Zoe, for example. 6XL is 25 total. Oh, no, you're right. Yeah, sorry, it's 25 frames total, not of recovery. They added 5 frames of recovery. Sorry, I forgot about yes. 25 total. Still 7 frames longer than backdash. You'll always be at least plus, and there are lots of times where you can punish them straight up. I'm on the nose 6XL into close M camp. Yeah, I don't think that would, at this point though, you probably like it becomes another one of those things where, for example, like Zoe got buffed into the character that just does that, right? And there are a couple of like that is like just doing 6XL into close M is pretty important for a lot of characters. So that is very much that is a disproportionate nerf to a lot of the roster. 6XL not giving combos is 100% what I would do. Maybe. I feel like it's also, I mean, you can make system changes. You have to be careful. Bonk. I think I am, whatever it is, I'm glad it was got to be universalized. I don't think I mind 6XL into close M as like an existence, right? I think it feels fine. 6XL not leading into combos would be kind of boring. The big thing with 6XL that you always got to worry about is like you have to make sure that you have you have like the best thing to do in the game should be to do something, not to do nothing. And 6XL is kind of the primary driver of forward momentum in a match of Granblue, yeah. There's a lot of very good, I mean, Brave Counter as it exists right now, for example, all the throw protection that people have, you know, one button meterless DPs, right? Like insane amounts of active frames, really good stop sign buttons, powerful zoning characters. There's a lot of reasons for Granblue to be like a defensive game where you just don't do anything and you wait for the opponents to kill. Like you wait for the opponent to do something stupid and kill them for it. 6XL is kind of, it's fucking NVIDIA holding up the U.S. and the world economy, right? It's Atlas holding up the world. Where, like, you know, love it or hate it, it is the primary reason that Granblue is not the game where you do nothing. Scale combos feels fine by itself? Yeah. To be clear, I think it's a reasonable thing to be like, I wonder if, you know, what the game would have looked like if in the Versuja patch, instead of making it, is this the most damage you can do? I feel like this was a little suboptimal. Yeah, you want to do one hit there. Okay, they're still fine. It's an interesting idea to wonder about if in the Versuja patch, instead of making it so everyone could do 6XL close M, what if they made it so no one could do it? But I wouldn't think it would be the correct thing to do, right? You have to redesign other parts of the game. With 6L be much better suited as you're being too passive in contesting space counter instead of I can press this whenever. If it didn't give combos, I mean, the reward on it, I mean, well, to be fair, it would still go into far L, right? So it would still give combos, you just need to spend meter on them. Oh my god. Sorry, my fucking throat is dying. Like, Ladiva, most characters could still combo off 6XL if you took 6XL close M away, right? At that point, all you will be doing now is making it so the characters that didn't have a good combo off 6XL far L, like this Zoe lady, for example, you know, that would be like relatively a much bigger nerf to a character like Zoe versus a character like Ladiva, right? So I mean, you could make 6XL not give combos at all, I guess. You could make it like +1 on hits or +2 on hits or something. You can just make it so you literally can't get anything off of it. Oh, you're dead. Bonk. Wait. Is this max? Whoa, what the fuck? I don't... Okay, he still wins those. I don't think that was max damage. I think he could have killed there. When I say 6XL doesn't give a combo, I mean 6XL doesn't give a combo. I'm saying, like, you could do that. That would involve more than just removing the 6XL close M, is what I'm saying. If you make 6XL +2 on hit and +2 on block, then I guess that works. Ow. It does feel a little boring, I'm not gonna lie. I know what you mean, I'm just saying I'm not so sure it's a good idea, I think is what you're not understanding from me. I feel like 6XL not giving a combo is just making the game less fun. Because, I mean, it's not going to make 6XL any less oppressive in neutral, yeah? Or off, or pressure, or whatever. I mean, it's going to make it so the reward is worse, sure, but, like, you're just going to be spammed into 6XL into nothing. If that's the case. That also doesn't work with how the game is coded? Yeah, because of how attack levels and all that works, yeah. Any nerf to 6XL would need a paired nerf to BC. It would need more than that, I think. If you're talking about, like, the level of nerfs that you're suggesting would need more than a nerf to BC. Is that Zoe side swap a consistent thing you can do? I wasn't paying attention, that's my bad. Point is, I think 6XL is not as out of pocket as like, there are nerfs that need to be done to it, but I don't think we need to, like, make it 1/10 as bad, or 1/10 as good, or something like that. It's fine. I still got ignored? Oh, hello, Vampy. My bad. I feel like 6XL not doing combos would kind of make it lose its teeth. I mean, it would just be, at that point, it would be a way to just enforce plus frames from mid-range, which is, like, it's a... Again, that's not ridiculous. Like, it could do that, right? I feel like I don't like that idea, but it could do that. It's alright, how are you? I'm doing well. Those Captain Sparkles on the left just now. Zoe has a consistent side swap after 2-1-4H with proper setup. Yeah, manually timed, apparently, but... Yeah, that to me is one of the big ones that needs to go too, right? I don't think there's anyone who's pro hard knockdown. I mean, certainly there's someone, but I have not seen anyone who's pro hard knockdown on counter hit BC at this point, right? That certainly does feel pretty silly. I would love to see that nerf paired with like the 6XL air blockable and lower clash level nerf as well. You have to play so oddly to try and beta BC, and it's usually not worth it. I think that's fair. This is the one that people always. This is the oh no. This is the anti-BC argument that never made sense to me. It's like, yeah, it should be very, very difficult to bait someone's BC because they get 3 of them, and as they spend them, they take more damage, and they like lose their ability to Raging Strike. Like they take more damage and do less damage as they brave counter, right? And you baiting them is a resourceless task. It should be very, very difficult. Like, imagine if baiting BC was easy. You would just never press the button. As it stands, baiting a BC right now is like a round-winning thing. With how like the resource management in the game is very important. It needs to go because hard knockdown BC is some nonsense. Yeah, I think that part I can definitely agree on. And I think most people can agree on. Uh-oh, she's safe here because you jumped back though. Yeah. You gotta backdash on those Ladiva supers or jump up. Play near so you never lose RS. That's true. Needs to be a reset, not a turn stealer. I mean, it'll be like on soft knockdown brave counter. It is usually your turn still, right? But you're at least still in the corner. Like you're plus 28 or 29 or whatever off the regular hit BC. Like you can usually run up and get a 6XL or something like that, right? But yeah, it's like at least you're still in the corner. At least you don't get a safe jump side swap and now I'm in the corner for, you know, daring to reset offense on you. Oh, he's dead. Yep. Immediate 6XLing off soft knockdown BC, but I'm not safe jumping off it. Exactly. Side swap safe jumping on a lot of the cast too, which is just like that is really the absurd thing, yeah. Argument against BC is never the idea that it should be easier to bait the BC, but I feel like it should have the slowdown if you spot dodge it, due to it being already so hard to bait out. That's a more reasonable idea. The reason I disagree with that also is because if you spot dodge a guy's BC and you're +2, and he wasted a BC doing nothing and is still in the corner, that is a gigantic swing in who's likely to win that round. Spending a brave point on nothing is like, it increases your chance to lose by like 20% or something like that. Like it's nightmarish. The resource management in this game, because BC is so good and because Raging Strike is so good, right? And because you do take penalties as you go down, just spending your BC to do nothing, to reset back to, okay, they're +2 and I'm in the corner, is horrendous. If they spot dodge it and they got like a close H starter combo on you, Mordecai is speaking. If they reset it and they got like a close H starter combo on you, that, I mean, again, it's, I feel like I want BC to be better than that personally. Yeah, if you want to just have the game celebrate it and say like, baited, but you're still +2, then go for it. But not taking the pressure seems worth it so much. People just BC the first thing that touches them a lot of the time. Yeah, I mean, if people are doing that though, that's a very easy thing to kill, right? Something the low key that should be nerfed about BC is how many iframes it has. It's got more than some reversals. That's an interesting one. I'm not actually sure what that would affect, but it's an interesting idea. It does have a shit ton of iframes. It lets you do things like, you can punish some things with BC because of the way that works, right? That is a buff to Beelzebub though. That is a buff to Beelzebub. It makes his unblockable kind of unfuckwittable in some places. Because if you do block that from range, BCing through it and iframing through it is the only thing you got. I want to hear the UI Goku sound if I spot dodge BC. That's fine. I just don't think we should make it, because like when you spot dodge a Raging Strike, you're like +30. You know what I mean? If you want the game to glaze you for it, that's fine. Maybe being a swordsman makes this much more annoying. I feel like trying to pressure people, I just have to expect to be hard knockdown BC twice each round. Yeah, I mean, that is one of the primary weaknesses of a character like Swords or a character like Uno, or just in general, characters that have very good plus on block special move pressure that leaves them right in your face. You would have to, I mean, if you do take the hard knockdown off of BC, you would have to like nerf those characters for sure, but the bums unblockable isn't really that good anyway. It could go too.
Very good odds that this person is
Tell me with the 15 months.
Smart and attractive.
God damn, thanks for the prime, brother. People were glazing Zoe in here earlier talking about how good she is now. But yeah, the hard knockdown on BC definitely needs to like go away. Again, I don't think that's too controversial. I think properly calling out BC with a spot dodge should leave you at least +7, so you're not dice rolling a punish. Well, you're not dice rolling a punish. You never get a punish currently, yeah? I mean, okay, if they BC super late and you spot dodge super early, you can. But like, normally, you like never get a punish, like under most circumstances for spot dodging a BC. And I kind of think that's how it should be, man. Long tracks in Uma? Brother, we're talking about, why would you do this? We're talking about Granblue. But fine, man. If you want to talk about long tracks, and my problem is not that I can't talk about this. My problem is that we're gonna derail, okay? But they're having a button check right now, and it's fucking Luane versus Suja. You don't fucking want to watch that shit anyway, okay? You want to watch me talk about fucking Libra Cup and why it's so bullshit that first off, because it's a long track, you're at top speed for the longest amount of time ever in the video game. You're at top speed for like 30 fucking seconds, right? So speed and everything that boosts your speed is as important as it ever is. Fucking getting like 60 extra speed is like a length and a half. That shit is ridiculous. But it's a long track, so you also need as much stamina as you can possibly get, and you probably need multiple gold recoveries to live. But it's a long track, so all skills get the duration fucking multiplied. So like mid-race velocity, early velocity, any fucking skill you can find, acceleration skills, are all like twice as good as they would be on a mile. But you don't have the skill points for that because you need it for the fucking recoveries. But it's also a long track, so if you don't hit your recoveries, you're probably going to die, so you need a lot of fucking wit. But it's also a long track, so you need a lot of guts because they probably have very long final straight, and dueling becomes very important, and guts is also a secondary stamina reserve, and guts contributes to your top speed in the last spurt, and top speed is the most important fucking thing on long tracks. And this fucking one is Kyoto, so it's got 2 fucking uphills, so you need a decent amount of power as well. So just 1200, 1200, 1200, 1200, 1200, all of your fucking horses, and you'll be fine. It's fucking fine. It's okay. It's just max literally all of your stats out, and then you're going to be just fine. It's not even a problem, man. It's not even, just literally get 1200 in all 5 of your stats, and the game's easy. The game's actually easy. The reward for spot dodging BC is not getting BC'd. I agree. I don't think the reward for, like, the resource economy in this game is so fucking important. Just like there are a lot of times where I'll super a guy for the express purpose of being like, oh, being 3 brave points to 1 right here is like unlosable. Like it's like a super winning position. Just by the virtue of, like, I don't even care about the damage the super does half the time. I'm just like, oh, I love the fact that, you know, we were both on 2 and now I'm on 3 and he's on 1. This is like heartbreaking for him. I hate that Matera can do that, by the way. It's so easy to confirm that fucking far L into more far Ls. If you spot dodge a BC and you get your opponent to waste their BC and your plus, that is huge. I don't think you need a punish. Dev's trying to kill these horse goals. SMH, indeed. I do want the UI Goku sound. That's fine. UI Goku sound, but you're still +2. I'm fine with that. Umusume lied when it said mediums attracted needs homogeneous stats. Long asks for all at 1200. For real, man. I kind of lied for the sake of the bit. Power is not as important as I made it out to be. On that track, for sure. The uphills don't, if anything, power, because of the positioning of the uphill, power is in some ways a little bit less important than it would be on like a medium or something like that. Or like it's certainly much less important to get your power high here compared to a medium or especially a mile track. But, you know, for the bit, I had to say everything had to be at 1200. Been playing Claire Obscure, so I'm in a French mood anyway. One of my buddies just finished that game recently. I was thinking about this. It's kind of fucking ridiculous, man. There are so many good games. I think I mentioned this before on stream. I can't remember. There are so many good games that came out this year, and a lot of them will be games that I'm like pretty interested in playing. But I just dropped literally all of it to play Umamusume Pretty Derby, and I just haven't looked back. Like, I've had no desire to play any other game this year besides Granblue and Umamusume. I'm not kidding. Like, it's like I played some Hades, and then I stopped playing Hades 2 because I wanted to play Umamusume. I was playing Expedition 33, and then Umamusume came out, and I literally dropped Expedition 33 for it. It's just game of the fucking century. I didn't play any fucking Ball Pit. I didn't play any... I played very little Expedition 33 because it came out right before Uma. I played, like, no Hades. I didn't play any Silk Song. I didn't play Dispatch, you know? I didn't play anything, man. I didn't play fucking anything. It's because I was playing Umamusume. I'm also doing the bit so I could excuse my 3 gold chips with 1200 power. It's not a bad stat. Like, you're going to be happy that you have 1200 power for sure. But according to my calculations, it's probably better to, like, sacrifice that power to have a little bit more wit. I think it'll lead to more consistent win rate, but I could be wrong. But yeah, man, I want to play Claire Obscure. What can I say, game? Oh, yeah, that is literally, here's another thing with hard knockdown BC, right? This right here, I'm pretty sure is, like, this is literally checkmate. There's nothing to be done about this. Because they were, oh, no, they weren't on chip. Oh, no, there you go, yes. This into the next BC, which was counter hit. Yeah, yeah. This is literally checkmate. I'm pretty sure there's nothing to be done here. I don't know if wake up DPing will get you through it. Maybe wake up DPing gives you enough invul, and then you just hope that Pood like freezes because he didn't expect you to do that. I don't know if Matera can wake up UDP and live this, but also he's also already preparing for that. You see him starting to dash. Yeah. So I think this is it's not that doesn't get you out of it, but at least maybe could get you past the U orb, and you hope that he fucks up. But yeah, it's that is just checkmate. Her DP doesn't last long enough, I think. It's very possible. That Nitya is active for a super long time. But yeah, we love hard knockdown, guard cancel into literal checkmate. Versucha's a BC and Jory literally did it twice in a row on first touch last game, last set. I think it makes a lot more sense to do that against Matera too. Using your Brave points aggressively to like get in on Matera and keep Matera not out. Like if you are in on her and she like guesses correctly and 6XLs you and she's plus now or something, very aggressively BCing her back to make sure that you can just maintain the turn that you have on her. Feels like a good thing to do. It can bite you in the ass, absolutely. But I wonder how this matchup feels. I mean, they gave Versucha M pillar, which helps her a little bit in some of these matchups where she can anti-zone a little bit more, but she still really doesn't. She really doesn't like it, right? Any character with a dash that sluggish is still going to get like completely shit on a lot of the times in these zoning matchups. M pillar does help though. Versucha certainly got better into. I think she got worse everywhere except into like Matera and Fairy, and I guess Eustace. Into zoning matchups, Versucha got better during her nerfs. Everywhere else, she got a little worse for sure. I know it's fucked up and shouldn't exist, but I'm sad I can't super through projectiles the way Versucha used to. It is interesting, right? Like, certainly, they clearly want Versucha to struggle a little bit into exactly this. But there are a couple of characters still that have very, very good anti-projectile supers. I guess this didn't want Versucha to be one of them. They have been removing a lot of them, though. They took Jita's off back in the day. They took Versucha's off. There's another character, too, that had a really good anti-projectile super that got nerfed, I could have sworn. Versucha lost both of hers, too. Pretty sure this is Versucha's worst matchup. That is, to be fair, like most characters' worst matchups is like this character or Lowain. Right? But yes, yeah, Versucha does not like fighting Matera. That can't be true. I don't know what Versucha's worst matchup is. She doesn't have a lot of bad ones, is the thing, too. Versucha should not be... Versucha does not have... Like, she's pretty good. She fights a lot of the cast pretty well, I think. Off topic, should I drop power a bit? I want my Vampire Rights to be invincible, but I feel like with my luck, 1K stats is like a maybe. Power is really not very important, I think. I think you can really... the difference between like 600 and 1000 power is not that meaningful. Especially if you have good acceleration skills. Now, if you don't have good acceleration skills, power becomes a lot more important, but... Versucha's worst is like arguably Meg. I am curious as to why that would be. Yule still has hers. It's all she has against zoners. Yeah, Ladiva still has hers. Eustace, funny enough, has one of the best. Oh, are you dead with no BC here? Yeah, I think so, right? Yeah, that's the 15k HP as well. I think she's dead. I think it's because she has 15,000 health. Ooh. Yeah, I think if you were a regular health character there, you get to live another day. Zoning and anyone who can abuse her lack of a Clash level 1 light on defense. What is this? Who? She hates both? Ow. Ow. She just struggles into very fast characters and Meg is one of the fastest? I guess I can see that. I can see Versucha being a little susceptible to getting overwhelmed. Question, does the upcoming Granblue patch include balance changes or just adding the new control styles? The one that's happening on the 2nd, we're pretty sure is just control changes. Maybe there's going to be some like quality of life shit, or maybe... I don't think there's any... I mean, it doesn't seem like there's anything they're too interested in hot fixing, so I don't think that's gonna happen. I would assume that it's just going to be introducing super ultimate and dynamic. Here come the Vikala buffs. Here comes the Vikala bug fix that actually nerfs her a little bit. Watch me be the best super ultimate Narmaya out there, true. Seox also gives her a hard time. He also just explodes if she clips him. That is how it goes. 6 frame late, I mean. I gotcha. But yeah, I don't think we know for sure, but it's like 99%. There's not going to be any meaningful balance changes there anyway, because they haven't like mentioned anything about it. Holy corner carry, man. That is the thing, right? Versucha's corner carry got better. The damage she does on those combos is a little lower generally, but the carry she gets is just higher. Still on the Vikala hope train, maybe. I mean, I have to imagine that Vikala's getting buffed in the Ilsa patch. I can't imagine it's not going to happen. But December 2nd, I don't know. Yeah, good spot dodge. Nina Matera, hot fix. I think apparently she's fine. They basically fucking buffed her in the last patch, so apparently she's fine. As far as the devs are concerned. Yeah, that M pillar is really, that's like the main thing that Versucha has as a lifeline here. If Versucha gets that knockdown off M pillar, she can pretty well just close in with her dash speed. The Ilsa patch happens. Ilsa shoots Lowain in the head, so true. They also buffed Lowain by removing the Gram bug, true. Gram was supposed to save us from ourselves, man. He died for our sins. Our sins of wanting a fair matchup against Lowain. Dude, this is crazy. This shit is such a good conversion. I don't think the Granblue community is ready for strong Vikala. I'm ready for strong Vikala. He doesn't have to be like top 1. This matchup looks god awful for Versucha. She don't like it very much. But I mean, it's one of those ones that just get in. Exactly. It's actually easy. Have you tried getting in? Just get in and kill Matera. She's alive. Fuck. I was gonna say he's got 15,000 health. You just kill her. Oh. Okay. Oh, nice spacing on that. Nerf not buff? No, I know. I'm just saying. In the last patch, you could argue that Matera got stronger overall because of the rain of arrows. Like, the compensation buffs they gave her were bigger than taking 1 second off you Butterfly. So, as far as the devs are concerned, they're like, let's buff Matera real quick. Ow. Don't make her strong, make her functional? That's kind of what I'm on, too. Percy also got stronger? Percy definitely got stronger. The U Butterfly nerf is bigger than the U Flame Carpet nerf, right? And his compensation nerfs are a little, are weaker than Matera's, but like he just got nerfed less as well. Percy definitely got stronger. There's a very solid argument that Matera got better too. So I don't even know, man. I don't know what they're doing with those two, but... Oh shit. Are you dead? I think so, right? Ow. 17k? Holy shit, 7, I forgot 17k. She only gets, yeah, brave counter though. She only even gets this chance because she's Versucha though. Yeah, okay. Unfortunately couldn't quite make it work, right? Couldn't quite make it work, but I mean, again, that is there was a round earlier where Matera died to the SSBA exactly because she had lower HP. Versucha lived there exactly because she had higher HP. She had the chance to bring that back. The HP differences on characters really matter. That is like the thing that I always constantly push. The agenda that I always try to remind people of is having 1,000 less or more health. I mean, God forbid, 2,000 less or more health is a really big deal. Really big deal. Change, indeed. I really think Matera's strength just creeped out of the devs' control very slowly. You know. It is what it is. There's a whole, you could make a little video essay about that, yeah. Making full screen neutral skip U skills. Like, it probably starts with that, yeah. I mean, it starts with a nerf to a lot of the 6XLs. It starts with the nerfs to Nier, because then that allows other characters to exist in the video game. But, you know, you can start with, like, the nerfs to 6XLs. You can start with, and you can go on with, like, you know, full screen neutral skip U skills getting nerfed. Generally being higher risk and lower rewards, right? Talk about, like, meterless DPs getting nerfed, right? Like, all of this before we even start talking about actual buffs to the characters themselves. Nice fucking BC bait, by the way. They're having a bison slide is a crime I'll never forgive the devs for. That is actually, I never connected the thoughts that, that is bison fucking sweep. But that move also beat the shit out of me in SF6, man. I could never, I think that is reactable in Street Fighter. I could never fucking react and block that shit.
qui a enfin été bloqué, ça lui a permis de au moins récupérer ne serait-ce qu'un tout petit peu de momentum. On force l'adversaire à bloquer pour récupérer au moins le buff.
The move kicks my ass in all of its incarnations.
Et le BC a été
The white woman sweep.
on a encore le pilar si besoin, surtout sur une boule, on peut réussir au moins à réagir.
And for all this talk about Matera, Versuja may... Oh, yeah, she does have, like, the best throw bait in the game, too. Well, no, like, top 5. For all this talk about Matera, I was gonna say Versuja might just win right here, but we'll see. He's give Matera knee press next, then she'll be good. That's true, actually. Oh, yeah, to call back, any nerfs to 6XL are a buff to this character, by the way. I just... I want you all to keep that in mind, too, before we get, like, too carried away. Any nerfs to 6XL also buff this lady. I just, you know. The emote is called Talk to Goat. Yeah. Mr. Brick, if you were a fighting game archetype, what would you be? I would want to. So here's the thing, right? Like, I would want to be a grappler, but I'm neither athletic enough nor just naturally large enough to do it. I think I could get there. Right? I think I do. I'm not. I could be like a fast grappler style character, but not as I currently stand. I do have to give it up. I would just be a trap character, I think. Right? Like at the end of the day, the stat that I've maxed out the most, the two stats, like it's not strength and dex. It's like intelligence and charisma. You know? So I think I would just be... Oh my god. I would be like placing gadgets down and shit like that. Be like a set play character. You can become Galleon. Wee! I don't think I can. But I was gonna say Brick would be a joke character because he's funny. I realized how mean that sounded. That's crazy. Be a Shoto even though I play Matera. I think most people would just be Shotos, yeah. I did an engineering degree. I basically have to be like a gadget character. Set play. I get the knockdown and then I set up some fucking little robots or some shit to just beat your ass. I summon ChatGPT to displace your labor. Thoughts? It could happen. Nothing in the rules says a dog can't play basketball, big guy. Mais oui! Mais oui, by the way. In case you were curious. I do love kick-based fighting styles. It is cool to use like the natural spear of the body. You got more range. You ever get in a fight with a fucking Taekwondo guy and he just fucking does that? Like he just lifts his leg up and starts backing up and you're like, alright. What are we doing, man? We're like in high school. You know what? Give Belial a Bison head stomp too and scissor kick. Belial kind of has Avatar Belial kind of has Bison head stomp. It's even plus. When do we think we'll get Ilsa? I imagine that the trailer is gonna be shown at Games Cup, and then it's gonna be, you know, anywhere between 1 to 2 days to like 1 to 2 weeks after that is when she would drop. Probably somewhere. I would expect her to drop sometime between Games Cup and Frosty. Maybe they drop her like a couple weeks later than you, or like did you expect, just to like get her out of the way of Frosty, but then that gets her closer to finals. So basically the Sandalphon time slot is what I'd expect. I'd expect that she's gonna drop sometime in the Sandalphon time slot. I feel like I remember them saying January. They said early 2026. I would expect late January though. Yeah. The Games Cup in December. Who's gonna tell him? That's nice. Who's gonna tell him? No. Games Cup is the 18th of January. I would expect Ilsa trailer then. I would probably expect Ilsa release date somewhere between like the 20th and the 30th. Exactly the same day when the next Street Fighter character comes. That's so true, actually. Taekwondo is IRL zoning? That's what I'm saying, man. Shit fucks me up. And also pisses me off. Maybe I am a grappler. Hold on. I mean, as far as like the only like fighting styles that I know, a lot of it is kind of grappler based. The main martial arts that I'm even somewhat trained in are like jiu-jitsu and like karate, sure, but there was a lot of grappling involved. Maybe I am a grappler. I would be super down to do some wrestling too. I think I'm very interested in that. If I can ever end up doing this shit as like a full-time job and I got like free time and money and shit, I would probably go to like some sort of wrestling school. Like a realistic fighting style for me is Cody. You're a politician? I know baseball bat jutsu. I actually have a little baseball bat. I have a baseball bat and a bow staff back here. Just in case, you know. Yeah, but the bow staff, the bow staff is mostly there for fun because it's very impractical to actually swing in an apartment building, right? Like how the fuck am I? If someone breaks into my apartment, how am I gonna get them with a fucking bow staff? Good luck swinging that in the fucking hallway that is like literally wide enough that I can fit it on camera. But it's like one of those little one-handed like baseball bats. I think it's like aluminum or some shit. You could definitely beat someone to death with it though. Like I hit myself in the head with it a couple of times. It hurt pretty bad, and I wasn't even hitting as hard as I could. I also know America breathing first form. So true. I'm going to Frosty, so a new patch right before then will be funny if Narm doesn't get nerfed. It could happen. Oh my, nice backdash, nerd. What is his skill again? Hold up. Skill, please avenge my Ladiva brethren. Duct tape a kitchen knife for an impromptu spear. I think blunt damage is good. Okay, if you're trying, I mean, I don't know about any Americans in the audience, but we don't have fucking stand your ground laws, whatever the fuck it is that you guys have. Like, if I kill someone in self-defense, I go to jail. I don't know how it exactly works in Canada, but I think it's like I can defend myself and I can even harm my attacker, but like it has to like, you know, there's some vagary there where it has to be like I can't use like disproportionate force, you know. Okay, so Brick, stand your ground laws are fucking weird. I actually don't know how they work exactly. All I know is the sort of like non-American, like not familiar with your guys' laws understanding of them is that if someone walks onto your property and you shoot them in the head, that's like castle law or castle doctrine. That's chill. It's also different from state to state. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Proportionate response stuff. Yeah, yeah. So that's why a knife. I don't think so. I think I could definitely like beat a guy over the head with a baseball bat. Maybe not over the head because then you could cause lasting damage and like blah blah blah. You could be liable for that. But I could like you know break a guy's arm or leg with a baseball bat, and I think that would like if I had reason to believe that my life was in danger, I think breaking his leg to incapacitate him would be totally valid. A man breaks into my house, I shoot him and he dies. If a man breaks into my house and I shoot him and he dies, if he falls into my house, I'm fine. If he falls out the door, I go to jail. That's crazy. Really? You gotta shoot him from behind, from outside. I mean, I guess you just wait. You let him in first. You let him into the house, so even if he falls backwards, he still falls into... You can shoot, but cannot beat to death. Interesting. Depending on the state, in Texas, you're encouraged and given a medal for standing your ground. Goddamn. Also, in New York, people don't like pickpockets. Don't like pickpocket because you're probably getting shot. I mean, you shouldn't pickpocket people. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't pickpocket people. I don't know if you should fear your life ending if you try. Like, that seems like maybe... I don't know if that is, you know? Like, pickpocketing people is generally not a nice thing to do. If you've been driven to, like, dire economic circumstances because we live in fucking capitalist hell world, then, like, valid, I guess, if you got a pickpocket to feed your kids. But, like, I feel like you shouldn't be worried about someone ending your life if you pickpocket them. Your Honor, I said in Minecraft. That's true. I know people have been shot for taking up a parking spot. That's crazy. I've wanted to do that shit to people sometimes, though. Me and my brother were chilling in his car once, just kind of talking. Like, we were just, you know, we parked. He, like, turned off the car. And we were just sitting there in his car and talking. And a guy just came up and was on a road, right? So there's a car in front of us and a car behind us. And there was a guy who just came up and, like, parked to the side of us while we were like, what the fuck? Huh? We can't leave. We're just stuck. This guy just boxed us in. He just parked his car left of us on a road. How did he do that? Like, that's illegal in, like, multiple ways. But he was only kind of doing it for a couple. Like, he like went in to get something and moved. Still kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, you should find a place to park probably. But that was definitely one of those moments where I was like, if this guy maybe should be killed, but maybe not. Maybe that's the voices. You gotta fight back against the voices. That's rogue phobia, man. It's their class. Of course they're gonna pickpocket. That's valid, actually. Actions have consequences and people are crazy these days. I agree. I'm saying like it's understand your environment, right? And definitely understand that, like, you know, there are people who are going to not have very much empathy. Or even like, not even empathy, they might just be scared or traumatized themselves, or like they might freak the fuck out if they notice someone trying to rob them. They don't know what exactly who you are or what you want to do to them. It's like, you know, be aware of the fact that obviously, like, if you start doing that shit, you know that it's dangerous, right? But it is crazy to think that, like, getting shot being like a likely outcome is pretty wild. That's pretty tough. Uh-oh, yeah, you don't want to spot dodge that shit. He does recover fast enough to murder you. That's true, but it's common for pickpockets in Europe because they have stricter weapon laws. Yeah, I mean, I would imagine, again, if you are not worried about getting shot in the face for pickpocketing someone, you're gonna pickpocket. The risk reward, it's like nerfing, you know, it's fighting games. The risk reward is better. I can definitely believe that that's the case. You know, I think the thing with a lot of crime, like the idea that like the answer to crime is to have everyone like have a gun so that they can defend themselves from crime, is an interesting idea. I think a lot of crime is just a socioeconomic problem, right? Very few people are going out and like stealing and like do it, you know, whatever you want to say, pickpocketing, stealing, selling illegal substances, whatever that is they're doing, that is illegal. Very few people are doing that for fun because they like it, right? By and large, people would rather not do that shit. Because even if you're not going to get shot, it's still just like... I mean, even from the most, like, from the least human angle possible, it's just an inconsistent revenue stream, right? Like, it depends on who you can rob that day. So very few people are doing that because they want to. Most crime is the result of socioeconomic circumstance. Like, I could definitely see the idea that, you know, if no one's walking around with a gun and you're not worried about getting shot for pickpocketing, you're gonna pickpocket more. I'm more concerned with how do we get that guy to a position where he goes, I don't need to pickpocket anyone because, like, I know where my next meal is coming from and I know that my kids are taken care of. It's like people won't pirate if getting the media is reasonable. Exactly, right? Like, crime is a result of socioeconomic circumstance. People would rather not commit crime. There are not people who are just born criminals or something like that. The solution to crime is to not have the need to commit crime? Exactly. So, like, I don't think I disagree with I bet you, in some ways, like, a lot of crimes that aren't gun violence probably do go down if everyone is rocking around with a gun. I definitely believe that. Like, I absolutely believe that. Because if I were a guy, and I was, like, in a really rough economic situation, and I was looking to rob some people, to make ends meet, I would be very nervous about committing any kind of crimes in a place where everyone is open carrying. You know, it's true. It would be a deterrent. It works. But, like, I feel like there are better ways to maybe, you know, there are better ways to tackle crime than making everyone worried that their neighbor is going to shoot them in the face, I think. We went from nerfing 6XL to talking about the risk reward around pickpocketing. Yeah. I did know someone who wished they could solve more issues with murder. Quick follow-up. Did their age end with teen when you had this conversation with them? Because that doesn't count. Might also make people a bit more likely to be worried they need to pull the trigger before the other guy does in some awkward scenario. You have the fucking standoff. So I feel like, you know, guns as an answer to crime feels heavy-handed to me. 6XL is indeed robbery. That's true. That is true. And, like, the thing about 6XL is we wouldn't have to 6XL if the socioeconomic conditions around the Brave counter and throw invuln weren't around, yeah? If I didn't feel like I had to 6XL to make ends meet, because otherwise I couldn't get any offense started with 6 frames of post-block stun throw invulnerability and 3 to 4 Brave counters around that hard knock me down, maybe I wouldn't have to steal your neutral. Is pickpocketing unsafe on block? On block, for sure. Yeah. Pickpocketing is like minus 60 or something. It's like a fucking... It's a reversal. Pickpocketing's super unsafe on block. Standoffs make no sense. Your ass is not reacting to the other motherfucker pulling the trigger. I don't think it's a reacting thing. I think it's like it's the... You know what it is? It's the stare downs. You know in Granblue? Explain gun control in fighting game terms. Do you know in Granblue when like you and the other guy, you just kind of walk up to each other and you're both crouched? You're both kind of just crouching in front of each other and you're like, okay, well, I kind of want to hit my 2L here because if I hit my 2L, then it's my turn. But if I hit my 2L right before or right after he hits his 2L, I'm going to get hit. But he's thinking that too. And you just kind of sit there and stare at each other. You just kind of crouch and stare at each other for a couple of seconds until one of you finally hits 2L. That's kind of what it is. Screaming pickpocket when you see someone gives you 28 extra plus frames? Yeah, that's like the parry. There's like a 5-frame window for it, but if you hit it correct,
Évidemment, évidemment.
you can even sometimes summon an assist.
Ouais, et Arefou, surtout Arefou quand il faut l'avouer, bien évidemment.
I say imagine if we didn't have a living example. Yeah. I've never won one of those standoffs.
Ah, ça va chercher le gauche-droite ici.
I feel like I usually lose them by hitting the button
Je prépare M, même si je sais.
and getting like DP'd or some shit. I feel like I'm the guy who hits the button quickly.
Là, on est en plus très en retard à la team.
Like I'm the part of the rock paper scissors that hits the button fast, and then
Ouais, dommage. Hein.
if you do the thing that beats that, I die.
Tout à l'heure, que ça pouvait être le cas. On va juste
If you just play the standoff super defensively, I go to hell.
conteste aussi.
I lose it by getting thrown most often. I feel like I counter hit people out of stuff a lot, either them hitting their button or trying to throw me.
Encore une fois, un petit peu dos au mur, mais c'était comme avant, pas de counterpoke là,
I should think about throwing there more often. I usually don't.
assez en dessous, hein, le-
Throw is good because yeah, you can if they throw, you can tech, and also it's just it'll beat buttons very consistently.
Ouais, les décisions étaient bien. Pas de faute ici,
You know what the one of the original ideas for hiding the nuke launch codes was? I have no idea.
absolument rien savoir, confirme du coup bas médium, on reprend avec
Ow.
Farage, let's go, pas d'inversion de position, on veut juste mettre les dégâts, mettre l'adversaire.
My intuition compels me to disagree on why people commit crime, but I've not done nearly enough research to have a decent conversation about it. Yeah, we don't have to get it super into it. I'm just saying, you know, I haven't done, though I do believe that there is some amount of research that supports that, you know, when poverty goes up, crime goes up, right? In times of recession and when unemployment goes up, crime goes up. Like I think that is a thing. I don't think I'm making that up. But honestly, I'm not even coming at it from like the academic perspective there. I'm coming at it from just the perspective of like people are like think about people. Like most people do not
Tenter le contexte, un bon récupération.
want to commit crime. It's, you know, most people would be scared to commit a crime.
Et encore une fois,
Yeah.
skill qui attend.
Like the old, like I feel like to believe that crime isn't primarily a result of socioeconomic circumstance, you have to believe that and then this might be a false dichotomy, so forgive me if I'm strawmanning you, but I think you have to believe that like there are some people who are just criminals. Yeah,
Toujours la pression à poursuivre.
like people exist who are just bad people and wants to hurt others, and that's how they are happy. And like to my, I'm no therapist or psychologist or psychiatrist or anything, but to my understanding, there can be certain like conditions you can have that can make you a little bit sadistic and things like that, whatever. But those people are such a vanishing minority of the population that they are not the reason behind crime. Yeah, you have to believe most criminals are just bad people. Exactly, and like I feel like that's a bit of a silly thing to think. Yeah, that most criminals are bad people. The research supports your crime that your claim that crime is a result of socioeconomic circumstance. I mean, I feel like it just if you are a human with empathy for other humans. We know what billionaires are. So true, so true. If you're a human with like empathy for other humans, and if you can like imagine yourself in situations, it will be very easy for me to imagine myself in a situation where I'm like, it's the classic like, would you steal a loaf of bread to feed your dying child? If your answer is no, I think you're a bad person. Yeah. Like, oh, maybe that's a little too harsh. But like, if you wouldn't like steal a loaf of bread to save your child's life, I think you might be an asshole. So it's very easy for me to like imagine a scenario where I would commit a crime if my situation was bad enough. And if that's the case, am I evil? Am I a bad person? Or am I just lucky enough to not have to do that to, you know, keep my family housed?
Mais après, on est trop fort.
So I think your intuition might be a little propaganda
Mais justement, c'est ça qu'il faut.
affected. I'm not telling you have to like agree with me right now. Yeah.
Bah voilà, ça,
But like I think your intuition might be a little fed by the propaganda of like the society that we live in. Joker face, yes. A society becomes like a fucking buzzword. But like that like criminals are evil and we need to get rid of the criminals. Because the alternative, if you don't believe that, the alternative is that we have to improve people's socioeconomic condition. Yeah.
Moi j'ai l'info, t'inquiète, j'ai l'info.
To be fair, it depends on the crime.
Il est en off.
Yeah, okay, sure. Yes, there are certainly crimes that are committed, honestly, disproportionately by people who are, like, actually rich, right? Rich and privileged. And they're usually crimes that involve, like, abusing some kind of power structure, right? Hate crimes, sex crimes, things like this. But, like,
Au moins un truc bord de ça, il tire.
Yeah.
Non, vas-y, on est chez nous, tu sais, t'as capté. Vu que maintenant on a un
even if you are not empathetic towards crime doers, improving socioeconomic conditions is still good, right? That comes at it from a different standpoint, too. Like, you know, that is also, like, that crime is also a systematic issue. It's just a different systematic issue. Yeah.
Attends, il est encore là ou pas? Moi j'ai vu j'ai vu un Alex.
It just comes from it's not the problem.
Ouais, il est peut-être parti.
It's not like the classist problem there. It's like the racist and sexist problem
Notre cher Alex de chez Arxis Europe.
is why that crime is being committed. But it is like kind of a systematic thing of like,
J'imagine, ouais.
you know, like rich, successful white boys with not a problem in the world rape women because they're kind of taught by society to not view them as people that matter. Still a systematic issue, just a different systematic issue.
Qu'il a dit.
Danny Trejo is a criminal, but would you look at Danny Trejo now and call him evil? I feel like the concepts of good and evil basically exist. Like, I almost, like, this is, we're getting a little in the weeds here, right? But like the concepts of good and evil to me feel like they exist for the express purpose of like making you think that the problem isn't capitalism. You know what I mean? Or like the problem isn't the system. Like back in the day, good and evil existed to make you think that the problem wasn't the monarchy.
Street Fighter 6.
Good and evil exist, but they are gray. I don't know that they do, man. I don't know that they do. What are you studying / did study, Brick? You're very well spoken. I was a software engineer. I think it's the fear of consequences rather than not wanting to hurt people. A lot for me is colored by how people reacted to that law that decriminalized theft. That shit destroyed my old blocks. Maybe I'm super biased. Okay. I'm with you. I'm with you, right? I understand people, if there were no consequences and the crime, they need to commit the crime, it's beneficial to commit the crime, people will probably do that, right? I'm not like doubting your lived experience there for sure. I'm just saying, think about it this way, right? What purpose is there in stealing from other people, exposing yourself to potentially getting shot or stabbed or at the very least beaten the fuck out of or whatever? Like even if you're not going to go to jail, right? There are still consequences, right? Why would you even expose yourself to those consequences if you just didn't need the money? If you were well off, right? If you had a good job, if you had a good community around you, if you had friends, if you had things to live for, if your needs were taken care of and you were living in luxury, even if theft was decriminalized, you probably wouldn't, like most people, like the very large majority of people, I imagine, they wouldn't steal for fun, right? I understand, I'm sure that, you know, in the current system we live in, if you decriminalize theft, yeah, people are gonna fucking steal, absolutely. Because it's like, a lot of people could really use, like a lot of people literally like an extra couple $100 this month changes their life. Yeah? So like, I don't think that what you're saying there is wrong or something. But I think it's, again, you have to go one step back. I always like to think systems, not people, right? Yes, if you decriminalize theft, those people will probably commit a lot of theft. Why? Yes? Why would that be the case? Is it because people like to steal? That could be the case, but that does not match my lived experience of just being around humanity. Right? Is it that people enjoy hurting others? That doesn't quite fit either. Or is it that it could be an easy source of income for them, especially if the consequences are not very severe? Oh my god, what a conversion, by the way. Is it that it's an easy source of income that they might desperately need? Case in point, billionaires, they can commit all the crimes they already commit because there's no consequences for them. Again, I would argue that in a lot of ways that is a systemic problem as well, right? You can certainly look at any individual billionaire and go, hey, that's the worst person I've ever fucking seen in my entire life. But again, a lot of it is also, at that point, it becomes very much this idea that, like, if you are that rich and influential, and especially if you come from money, again, you are kind of, like, your worldview is shaped around the fact that you are more important than the commoners. Yeah? Like, you are better than the, like, it's like there's a dehumanization of the people around you, and therefore exploiting them for more wealth doesn't seem like a bad idea. You are, like, your empathy is, like, trained out of you at a young age, I think. They don't want us living comfy. People committing crimes fuels the legal slave labor that is the prison industrial complex. Yeah. So again, Moose, I'm not. This is not me at all trying to be like, no, you're wrong. Actually, because you are speaking from empirical evidence. I'm just trying. What I ask you to think about one step, and why maybe you come to a different conclusion, and that's fine, man. Right? But like, what I ask you to think one step deeper about is when they decriminalized theft in your block and around your area, why did everyone start stealing? Right? Bonk. Why do people why would people even want to steal in the first place? That's why I'm glad I'm a psych student. Yeah. This pretty much is why I said I have to look into it beyond intuition. I hear you though. Yeah. Again, I'm not. This is not me at all being like you're a fucking asshole. Like I think it's very important to be able to like disagree on these things calmly. Yeah. What you're saying is valid. I'm not even necessarily like saying that no, what you're saying isn't wrong. I'm saying the reason it happened might be different. But yeah, by all means, I mean, feel free to. I absolutely recommend you go and do your own looking around, reading, research, just thinking, whatever it is. Reach a conclusion that seems right to you and go from there. But the two paths lead into discussing societal issues and moral philosophy in depth. Philosophy major and CS major, is that a thing? I think most people would like to think about their society at large a lot more. I think it really is a matter of privilege, right? I think it is a privilege to have the time. Oh, it's okay. Well, it's the kind of both ends of the spectrum there. There are some people for which again, there are some people for which like being apolitical in itself is kind of a privilege, because there are some people, namely like minorities and especially like multiply marginalized people, like if you're like a black woman or like like a trans woman or a black, or God forbid like a black trans woman or something like that, then like the politics is about you, right? You can't really afford to not like, it's like being political is not a choice really. Like the politics is about whether or not you deserve human rights. There's no such thing as being apolitical unless you're on a deserted island. No, but I understand I'm not talking about it in such like a hypothetical like academic standpoint. I'm saying as far as like living your life, not really worrying about what's happening in politics too much. Do you know what I mean? For some people, that is a choice you can make, right? Like for a guy like me, like I'm a Muslim, but like by and large, I am I'm pretty close to what the society wants me to be, quote unquote, which is basically a white man, right? I'm only one axis off of that. I'm a man, I'm straight, I'm some people have called me fucking Greek before. Like if I shaved my beard, I'm like damn near like Mediterranean passing. Yeah. I have the privilege of like not really worrying about politics, and I spent a lot of my life doing that, and I could have spent a lot more of my life doing that, because like in the grand scheme of things, I am benefited by the system in more ways than I'm not, right? There are a lot of people I know who, like, that's not a choice for them. Yeah? Do Muslims not eat every 30 days during Ramadan? Is this a meme? Someone said this before, and I thought it was a genuine question, and they told me it was a copy pasta. I will not deny I'm lucky to look like a masked white person. I do tend to lose some rights, and they find that I'm genderqueer. Yeah. My point is that, for a lot of people, like, not worrying about politics is a bit of a privilege, yeah? But then also, there's another layer of it, too, of, like, there's a different, like, thinking about all of these things in, like, this kind of academic way is also, like, if you are actively worrying right now about, losing your second job that you are working to feed your children, you kind of don't have a lot of time to zoom out and think about the big picture. So that, when I say that, like, being super, like, thinking about this kind of stuff and trying to form opinions on it and stuff like that is a privilege, that's kind of what I mean. In the sense that some people just, unfortunately, the system is designed to stick you in a rat race that is so fucked up that you don't have time to sit back and think, wait a second, what if things weren't like this? Out. That's a good Brickle, Ignis. Out. Out. If I shave my beard, don't remind me. It wasn't that bad, was it? I know I can't have kids one day just because that's out of my tax bracket and that's fucked up. That's horrible. I mean, hopefully it's not the case. Have you seen young Hillary Clinton? What happened? It feels like you got fucking taken over by a different... Also, just real quick, Ladiva is winning on my screen right now. It's so tiring to have to pay attention to everything politically. I mean, you don't necessarily have to pay attention to everything, right? But do what basically really like a lot of the stuff that happens globally or even like nationwide in your area, you can't do anything about that, right? The most important political change you can make is generating community on a local level. Unironically, the most important thing you can do politically is because like the fact that you don't know the names of your neighbors is not an accident. That's like the isolation from your fellow man is designed on purpose because the only thing that you have is numbers. Yeah. And the only and like the way to divide, like the way it's a lot easier to get you scared of Mexicans if you've never met a Mexican guy or talked to a Mexican guy. You know, you might have like a Mexican neighbor, but you never talk to him. If Mexicans aren't like some fucking nebulous concept in your head, and like you actually have just like a neighbor who you know about, like you know him and he's cool, and you know about a little bit about his culture and stuff like that, it gets a lot harder to convince you that he's the enemy and is the reason that you can't find a job. Yeah. So like the most, like really, you don't have to keep up with every little thing that happens politically. It's not really feasible, and it's intentionally designed to be just a fire hose. It's intentionally designed to be like a fire hose of information so that you become apathetic. Apathy is the end goal. If you ever find yourself checking out, they win, right? But really, the most important thing you can do politically is like, again, have these conversations with people you know, right? Try and change the minds of people you know, right? Make friends on a local level. Know your neighbors, right? Organize people in your community. Not even like for political action necessarily at first. Just organize them as in like start a book club with your neighbors or something like that, right? Like, just know the people in your community. And then you guys can try and organize and even like maybe affect the local level politics of your community. Right? Like that is the most important thing that you can do. You like I think it's the wrong approach to be like, I have to know everything that's happening with every national leader in every place in the world and all the greater trends. No, man. Just like talk to the people who live next to you. Proof I am the Mexican neighbor my neighbors don't talk to? That's tough, man. Sorry to hear that. I worked with a Mexican guy named Lalo. He really likes cocaine. Great guy. Cool. Good for him, man. I know. Dude, that was the crazy thing for me. Starting book club in general sounds fire. Yeah, but my point is like, I think a lot of people go like, oh, well, I guess we have to overturn the system tomorrow. And it's like, not really, man. Like, you don't have to, the revolution will not be televised, but also it doesn't have to be tomorrow. Like, we got some work to do, right? Like literally, like again, it is political action. It is important political action to create community for yourself on a local level. Straight up, straight up, like knocking on your neighbor's door and learning what their name is and like slowly making a bit of a community is very important. That's the most important thing you can do. Knock knock. Have you heard the good word offers in the Bible? Yeah. I recommend becoming friends with your Mexican neighbors. Our parties are lit. I believe it. And the food is gonna fucking rock too. All the third spaces in my area are fucking gone, and it's just McDonald's and chain stores that really blows for this reason. Less chances for you to meet randos in your area who could help out if anything happens. Yeah, man. But like, there's also, first off, I love that the French are getting so hyped for my girl, but also second, Mordecai stays alive, lose your semis. I know we're talking about important stuff, but also Mordecai is fucking cooking right now. Being a Mexican American in current USA is really something. Oh yeah. Or else I'm not a criminal or have to maliciously take your job. Yeah, I mean, I feel for you, man. I feel for that's a tough existence right now for sure. Can we overturn the system tomorrow, please? I wish, but it's a long process, and it starts with grassroots community organizing. All this talk over a fucking Granblue event is funny. Yeah, this is how the wall brawls always were too, right? We're just talking about some shit while Granblue set plays in the background. Ladiva versus Soares. Wait, hold on. This is actually a good matchup for Ladiva. Peak Brick Stream. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I hope you guys are having a good time. But yeah, Floral. I say this because if I remember correctly, Floral, you're like a little younger, so I just want to because it is something I think that you don't really appreciate. Like it feels like so important to keep up with everything that's happening in the world, but like they're doing it on purpose. If it feels super tiring, it's because it is, and it's because it's designed that way, and it's because they want you to check out and be like, fuck it, I guess it's just all fucked, and I just whatever. It's a lot less important to keep up with stuff than you think. We talk politics, we talk Granblue. I think next on the docket is Galleon's tits, and what tits they are, man. The wall brawls always were. Don't make me cry. Someone said we should do one for the holidays. I might, maybe. We'll see, man. Maybe we could do a wall brawl. I just mean like it constantly feels like my rights are gonna get taken away tomorrow by who knows what. That's true. I mean, yes, that is very unfortunate for you. But like, I don't know. I can't. Unfortunately, I can't speak to that experience. But it's at the very least, you might feel a lot safer, even if your country turns against you, right? You might feel a lot safer if you have a local community that knows you and accepts you, right? Like, it still helps with that too. At the end of the day, unless things get like really seriously like round them up turbo fascist, which I mean, if you're in the States right now, you guys are very much on that line. It always is crazy to think about the fact that it's only been 11 months there's like 39 more, which is just, or 37 more. It's fucking ridiculous to think about. But like, unless we start getting to that point where the fucking ICE is rounding everyone up to send them to the concentration camps, but it's like everyone, then at the very least, in the meantime, you could be a lot more safe if you have a local community, right? It's still I think a very important thing to do. I'm chill with my trans Romanian neighbor because he asked me to change his light bulb and it kind of deleted the bad name Romanians had in my brain. Yeah, man. 30 more days until we can yell at each other over Galliot again? Yeah. Countdown on fucking New Year's Eve. 10, 9, 8, 7, and then on 0, I just, you know, I place Galliot on the tier list. How's the Leva Soares matchup? Horrendous for Soares. This is actually one the ship is yeah, it's real nice. The entire the 5-frame light SPD kind of shits on everything that Soares wants to do with his pressure. Oh no, he just has to play the matchup entirely differently. This is like Ladiva's best matchup or something, I think. I know a lot of people around me through work. All of them have been great, minus one guy who didn't fucking pay me to go steal his windows. Yeah. I like to think thanks to Vietnamese major minority here in Central Europe is the reason why I've been eating top tier pho for like €3 to €5 per bowl. Yeah, man. Yeah. But yeah, I definitely want to. I want to start being the change that I see in the world too. I definitely want to. I'm in an apartment complex, right? There are a lot of people around me. I don't know who any of them are, right? I would definitely like to start, you know, practicing what I preach and like get it. Oh, are you dead? 17K? 17K, you might be alive. Also, gotcha. Thank you for the 11, man. You might be dead. Yeah, even through 17K. Local community is very Hispanic and Arabic, if I remember correctly. Listen. I think my local community might be like. I think I do live in kind of like, you know, Zionist central Toronto. So maybe I need to move first. Maybe I need to move first and then start making friends with my neighbors. In a couple of years, I move out or something like that, and I go somewhere, you know, somewhere else, and then I can start to get to know my neighbors a little bit. But you know, now the street has blue line and Israel flags. Yep. That kills through 17K. Yeah, man. Ladiva SSBA is a fucking nightmare. Friends and family can't leave their homes because ICE is waiting outside grocery stores and job sites here in town. It is genuinely insane what they're doing to like Mexican Americans and like even like general Hispanic looking people in the US right now. Like it's crazy that some people look at that shit and they go, that's not fascism. That's definitely not fascism. What do you mean? That doesn't remind me of the Jews at all. Ow. I'm really scared to go out and even buy food because the racial profiling is getting ridiculous. Yeah. We joke around not visiting the USA for the risk of getting sent to the South American gulag, but it's real. Yeah, man. It's like, I literally could not imagine. I just, all I've got, for all the, I mean, I say Mexican, but I think it's just, they're going to, anyone who even looks vaguely fucking, but yeah, like, you know, Mexicans and Hispanic people, all I've got for you is love right now. I hope that you fucking get through it, man. I hope you fucking get through it. Who are the characters still in? Sora's Ladiva. Matera is up there, right? On the one. Wait, no, did Matera lose? There's someone, man. We'll get there. This is losers finals. Who's waiting in grants? I know 3 friends have been grabbed by ICE and it sucks. They were amazing people. That's fucking horrifying. Like that's a crazy thing to hear, man. It's Jesus fucking Christ, man. Is it Matera waiting up there? You guys really are just fucking. I mean, we're not gonna be too far behind you if it's a successful project down there. But you know, God. But we are, you guys are really just living in a fucking fascist country now. That's crazy. Some German tourist got arrested a while back. Stay away. No, I know. I canceled my trip to Evo, like, instantly. I was supposed to go to Evo Vegas this year. I was like, nope. Glad I have my bubble of New York currently. Yeah, I guess it must be pretty nice to be being in New York City right now must feel like you caught the fucking last chopper out of Nam, right? That's crazy. Like it must be crazy to like be in New York and look out at the rest of fucking America right now and be like, Jesus fucking Christ, what is happening over there? Even the rednecks around here don't like ice. They respect hard work and think ice are bums. Based.
Oh oui.
I don't really like the term redneck too much.
Oh, Boris.
I got no problem with some working class white people, as long as they are, you know, aware, or if they are open to learning about how their whiteness might affect their lives, their day-to-day lives.
Base game. On est au base game.
We love the term redneck. Fair enough. I mean, I feel like it's derogatory. If it's not, then, you know, sure. But well, living in Mamdani yeah. I'm in New York. Yeah, I got you. It must feel like you're just fucking. You're like sitting in your room and like the fucking world around you's on fire. I think the World Cup is gonna be crazy. Wait, where's the World Cup? I'm stupid. I don't follow anything about soccer, football, whatever. Is it in the U.S.? Oh Jesus Christ! There's no way, man. Dude, they got all of the fucking Hispanic people and all the South Americans and shit like that. They're all gonna come. It's like a fly trap. They're gonna grab every fucking South American. They're all gonna buy their tickets, and they're gonna get sent to the Venezuelan fucking Auschwitz. That's insane. You can't. This is crazy, man. This shit. That shit is actually going to be like in the fucking. That shit's gonna be like in the textbooks. Like that one fucking the Berlin Olympics in like 1916 or no, it was like 1932, whatever the fuck it was. And why is like the only room in the house that has aircon right now? Yeah. Right to this parallels history of the 1930s. That's what I'm saying. It's literally the fucking Berlin Olympics, man. It's like why did we let Nazi Germany host the Olympics? The Berlin Olympics repeated? For real. We'll see, man. I wish you guys luck out there. Ow. Also, I looked away and Skill is beating that ass. Hold on. It's supposed to be a good matchup. What's happening? Something appeasement. It's okay. The Leopards will never eat my face. First, they came for the Mexicans, and I said nothing, for I was not Mexican. And that's where the poem ends, right? That's like where the poem ends. Like I'm pretty sure there's nothing else there. I think he was just fine because they stopped at the Mexicans. I think that's what that poem is supposed to say. Yeah. He's not Mexican. That'd be one of my favorite one-line poems. Exactly. He's literally not Mexican. What does he have to worry about? He's not Mexican. Oh, that's a safe jump, I guess. Backdash into that. I mean, you are plus 63. Yeah, that would work. Yeah. You're plus 63 off the U-Lariat hit there, so backdash into forward jump is a safe jump. That's actually a cool little piece of tech. I don't do that. Now, I love how he's just stopped doing fucking close H because he doesn't trust it. Skill just build different. Now, hold on. Hold on a second. Mortisai's got this. Brick, if I hide in Canada, can I hide in your walls? Yeah, it's fine. As long, yeah, that's fine. You just have to gift a sub, and then you're allowed in. That's pretty good rent. Okay. That's pretty fucking good rent. One gifted sub a month. Like that's pretty fucking solid, man. He's taking out a lot of guns / S. So true. Uh-oh. Leroy. Ow. Do I get cheese while in the walls? That I can bring you cheese. That takes it up to 2 subs a month though. Let's all go hide in the brick walls. Now hold on a second. Oh, it doesn't recover quite. Dude, that's crazy. The 2-2U just jumps over it. Oh my god. No, Mortisai, not like this. It's been such a heartbreaking bracket for him, man. Let's all go. You guys, you know what? Yeah, sleep over at my place. Everyone come escape your fascist dictatorship in my house. I have, not very much. But, you know, I have a picture of Ogre Cap on my wall. It's cute. We could look at it together. I have a computer. I have 2 monitors. We could, like, watch a movie or something. 2 subs for staying in the walls and cheese, yeah. It's like 40k people or what? I'll do my best. It might get a little crowded. Well, I don't want to suggest it. In theory, the reason U.S. citizens have a right to bear arms is to overturn a corrupt government. Yeah. I don't know. It seems like that's not gonna happen though. Ow. I think it's also kind of, it's a little bit outdated because like at this point it really is just, you just need the military to be against the dictator, right? Like whether or not the civilian populace has guns, if the military is like fuck this guy, then you guys win. If the military is like nah, actually we're gonna go with him, I don't think any amount of, I don't think you guys can win. Right? Like I don't know if like a locally organized militia could you know, maybe in like the 1800s. Hashtag war fucking sucks. Yeah. But I feel like at this point, really, like if such an overturning was to happen, it wouldn't happen through like the locally organized militia doing it. You would need to get the military on your side, which I don't think you do by shooting them. The local military base already knows who could take over that thing if we organize. Yeah, sure, but the problem becomes more, you know, what if it's not a problem for the local military? I like to think people are starting to wake up at least to stay hopeful. No, for sure. Again, I think, you know, the answer is not to pick up your guns and shoot them at the government. At least not yet. Right? For legal reasons, this is a joke. This is a joke. For legal reasons, this is a joke, and I'm not actually inciting anything. But my point, like, you know, there's a lot of work that's got to go on first. There's a lot of like community organization that needs to happen far before we get to that step. In Minecraft? Yeah. Is there a reason the Granblue dust loop is so quiet? I feel like so little tech ends up there. Is dust loop? I don't, honestly, I don't know. It depends. I mean, the able dust loop is super well. You just need like one guy who's really into it. But I just feel like in general, yeah, like people discuss tech in like discords and stuff like that. Like Granblue is like, if you want to learn about like Grimnir tech, you don't go to Grimnir's dust loop, you go to Grimnir cord, right? If you want to learn about Lance tech, you go to Lance cord. I feel like people are much more, oh no, my goat. All right, fine. Hey, third place for Ladiva though. Third place for Ladiva though. But yeah, I don't want to get violent, but I know how to make napalm just in case. I mean, this is maybe a more controversial take. Most people have been on my side so far. I might lose some people here. On the whole political violence thing, I don't think I'm not like, oh, it's actually awesome. Yes, I like, no, that's not what it is, right? But it's more so than just like, I would love to live in a world with no political violence, but we already do. Like it's just coming from the other direction, right? Like people are somehow okay with like political violence from the state and not from the people, right? It would be great to live in a world with no political violence, but it's happening. It's happening right now. Like political violence is already here. It's been brought into the game. And once it's brought into the game, it kind of has to be in the game. Very hard to take it out yourself. Political violence is a tool, but it's one you need to be careful using. My point is that the government is already committing political violence against the people on a daily basis. Like even outside of, like even before you talk about like the literal fucking secret police rounding people up and taking them to a concentration camp, right? You could argue that like the basically wage slavery is also kind of political violence. It's just on a state sanctioned level, which is why I know how to make napalm. Yeah, but my point is that I think it's a little disingenuous. How Ghost Man, did you beat the French yet? We're in Grands, I think now. I think it's a little disingenuous when people say that like, oh, we shouldn't resort to violence. It's like, I would like that too, but the violence is here, man. Right? The government is already committing the violence. So you can either sit there and die or eventually defend yourself. It's like just writing a bunch of nonsense stuff in there to get someone mad enough to correct it. Yeah. I used to maintain the Jin Kisaragi dust loop way back in the day. Fun times. What a world. Two martyrs, one has Sin Gray, and the other one has a Haru Rara run with S on turf. Yeah. Excuse me, I come in talking about political violence. What I have to add to the big anime boot and the French? Don't worry about it. I didn't punch first, but I will punch back. Exactly, right? Exactly. I agree, though. Like, I think a lot of the people who are like, we should never, like, if someone who's like, oh, we should never resort to, like, no matter what, you should never resort to violence. I think you are a Fed. I think you are a Fed, or you are brainwashed by the Feds, right? Because when your government is actively committing political violence against you, your options are either lay down and die or do something about it. Light in the Mood got 2 hot spring tickets in a row. We're so back. I'm sorry this is a bummer. I personally, like, yes, a lot of this stuff is very upsetting, but I don't really view this as like it's just, you know, we're just talking about how things are. I think it's somewhat relieving to just be like open and honest about shit and just talk about, you know, be real. I think the BlazBlue Dust Loop had to remove the pros and cons section. People kept starting flame wars over characters getting fake cons. That's funny.
Bon, le plan caméra est dégueulasse. Attends, je me rassure en fait. C'est bon, c'est trop.
Not a huge fan of violence, but no matter what is very naive. Exactly. Like, when your government turns into Nazi Germany, right? At a certain point, maybe some, you know, someone breaks into your house, you kind of have to get violent. Yeah, and that's not a hypothetical anymore, right? There are Mexican people getting their fucking windows broken, pulled out of their cars, and deported. So like, we're not, right? We're not it's not a hypothetical. I know. I think it's a very comforting thought for a lot of people that it could be a hypothetical, but it's just not. At a certain point, you gotta at least do a crime. Yeah, at least a little bit of pickpocketing. I know it's minus 60 on block. Granblue's Dust Loop's a deserted village. Like 7 characters just don't have the frame meter on their moves. Yeah, I think again, it's not really utilized. Like Granblue tech is shared through character discords essentially. B's Dust Loop is maintained by one guy in B Cord. Yeah. Again, I'm pretty sure Abel is just Steeler just does the Abel Dust Loop for Abel Cord, but like mostly if you want to learn combos, tech, stuff like that, there are some a lot of the character discords are very well made. I personally believe the communication around the state of the world seeps into everything we do, even games, because what happens when a Mexican competitor gets racially profiled and deported to grand finals? I agree. I think the idea, like wanting to not worry about politics, again, we talked about it earlier, but it's a privilege, right? If you are a Mexican living in the United States right now, you can't really afford to be apolitical, for example. But if you're a white guy, you might be like, this is a fucking bummer. This is a bummer, man. Let me focus on my Granblue tournament, man. This is a fucking bummer, man. And listen, if you are that white guy and you are like, this is a bummer, I understand where you're coming from, but I think you have to... You were fed a version of the world that doesn't exist. Or maybe it exists for you, but it doesn't exist for, like, most people. Who aren't your color and your gender. So I think you have to open your eyes to the potentiality that you might have been being tricked a little bit. Ow. Some people cannot afford to just not worry about it. There's been cases of Pakistani players not being able to compete because of visa issues. Yep. Ow. For Tekken 8, yeah, happens all the time. Completely off topic on like the political stuff anyway, but Tekken 8, those Tekken 8 pros are so... Those Tekken 8 pros are so fucking funny, man. They hate each other. It's like, I was talking to one of my friends yesterday. It's like all of them are Leffen. You know what I mean? All of them are Leffen. Every Tekken 8 pro feels like Leffen. They're all complaining about talking about how brain dead everyone is and how fucking every character is broken and how none of them are earning their wins. It actually feels like every single Tekken player is fucking Leffen. It's crazy. Like, Leffen stands out in, like, anime games because he complains a lot and he's, like, you know, he's good, obviously. But, like, he's, like, the GOAT evil, right? Like, he complains a lot. He'll still win, and he'll call you shit and then beat you in top 8. That's, like, every Tekken fucking pro. Every like, Arslan, Knee, like, all of them. Are, like, fucking... I always see them getting into fights in the comments about how actually now you're on Twitter and shit. How your character's actually the most brain dead. I'm privileged being in EU and not struggling. I'll hold off on participating in the convo. I think, like, as a person who is coming from a position of relative privilege, I think, from my understanding, it's not a matter of, like, oh, you don't get to talk, like, shut up. It's more like, it's okay. It's not a matter of, oh, you don't get to have an opinion on this. It's more of, if you understand, you probably shouldn't want to have an opinion that overrides anyone else's, right? If you understand how different people's experiences are based on living in a system that marginalizes them or something like that, if you understand that and you are like a human with empathy, you probably are just going to be much more interested in hearing about what it's like from them instead of guessing about what it might be like based on what you can come up with in your head, right? Because of the fact that you can acknowledge that you just really don't know very much about it. Yeah? So, like, but I don't think it's a matter of, like, oh, you're not allowed to participate. I think you have to, the way I view it is, like, imagine you were talking to, like, an expert on some topic, right? And, like take the politics out of it entirely for a second. You were talking about database design with, like a database engineer that had, like, 10 years of experience or something like that. If you guys were talking about database design, you could talk. It's not like you're not allowed to talk. but you probably naturally would like give them the floor. You'd give them a lot of space to share their opinion. You'd ask them more questions than you'd probably say declarative statements, things like that. And that would kind of be the shape of that conversation. But it's not that you're not allowed to speak. If he did that, he'd be kind of a dick, right? But it's, yeah, it's just more so that naturally, if you understand and respect their position, you probably would speak less. Which I would have changed that. I'm not a U.S. citizen. The best I can do is try to help people from the outside. Yeah, and like again, it's not. Listen, I'm not trying. Obviously, the U.S. is the biggest example, but like Europe is not like the rise of like all the xenophobia and I mean capitalism in general and like like white supremacist structures, things like this. This is not a U.S. invention, and it is not a U.S. problem, and it is not strictly a U.S. thing. I mean You look at the second and third most popular party in a lot of these European countries, and you guys are also potentially in danger, right? It is a problem in the U.S. though, but I'm saying it's not like a U.S. exclusive problem, yeah? Like it's not a matter of just being like, the U.S. situation sucks, good thing I'm in Europe. No, you gotta be careful over there too, man. Right? Like, I don't know, like, if you're fucking German, for example, you gotta watch out for like the AfD, you know what I mean? If you're French, you gotta watch out for the fucking, I don't know the name, but it's like the super far right party that keeps getting more and more traction every time your fucking parliament collapses because people are losing faith in the system and there's not like a sufficiently organized like left-wing voice to oppose them populist-wise, right? Yeah, Italy as well. I've heard, I did hear some problems about Italy, right? So like, I think it's a little, be wary of being, I want to vote against a local racist, xenophobic, alt-right party. At this point, all I can do is hope until people who aren't, man, the SPD sucks. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, certainly the US is further ahead on this pipeline than most countries in the world right now. But it is still very important to, like, use them as an example. Use it to, like, educate yourself on what can happen when these things are left to run wild. And, like, still talk to people, yeah, like, do it, like, vote, exercise your rights, all of this. Because it's not, like, I think it would be foolish to assume that it's, like, a problem that is stuck in the U.S., right? Well, I'm not saying that's what you said, by the way. I'm just saying, like, in a general sense. It's definitely not a thing that you just don't have to worry about because you're European. It's just a few years out. Mr. Brick, am I allowed to buy my potatoes this week? Have you gifted your subs? I'm aware what you mean. Yeah. Brazil just had to deal with some bullshit not too long ago, too. Yeah. The fact that things kind of worked out feels like a miracle. It's a global thing, man. It's a global thing. There's been a very big like right-wing swing in the past like 10 years, probably led by Trump, right? At the end of the day, right? What is it? It's when America sneezes, the rest of the world catches a cold. America, despite the American empire crumbling faster and faster by the day, they are still currently the dominant cultural force in the world, right? So like the 10-year far-right swing of America that started with Trump 1 has like, it's radiated out into the rest of the world, yeah? It's a problem everywhere. The debris is still landing on the other people, indeed. Non-fun story. Here we have the right to try and become an extreme far-right. We have the right to trying to become an extreme far-right, taking a Mussolini slogan while trying to trick younger people by organizing One Piece-themed anti-government demonstrations. Yep. We love when the system co-opts the people's views. Ever heard a Spaniard talk about Muslims? Europe is also seeing a rise in right-wing thinking. Exactly. UK started some transphobic stuff in the past year and just feels bleh how prevalent it's gotten. Bro, I mean, the UK is like one of the worst places in Europe, probably. Like outside of like you got not you guys. I don't know if you're in the UK, Floral, but like, I mean, as far as like the panopticon, anyway. UK went down after Brexit. Like the UK is like the only place that's more of a police state than the US right now. It feels like, isn't it? The UK is in like full on like you have to talk to our AI before we let you jerk off to like Violet Myers. No? UK trying to make people remember they used to be the worst. They're trying to reclaim the crown. I don't think they can do it. I just don't think they have the horses, but they're working on it. Ow. Dude, by the way, these whiff punishes on Fairy into you dash bunch. I know I'm like going all over the place, but skill is fucking, this is incredible. These like whiff punishing this shit into you dash punch every fucking time, man. The hit confirms are just impeccable. Skill is skillful. It's true. It's true. I haven't heard people being deported to prison camps in the UK yet, but I wouldn't be shocked if the US takes the cake. Yes. But again, it's the canary in the coal mine, right? It's the culture leader that the rest of the West follows. Skills shown they're real good at fighting zoners. It's true. I mean, it's kind of the thing you gotta be. right? Because they can cause Soras a lot of trouble for sure.
Hein, ça joue à un jeu bah, évidemment extrêmement calme. Bien vu ici.
Ow, ow.
Il a failli avoir le punish.
Also, notably, Fairy in Grand Finals. This is one of the characters that I am willing to take the risk that I'm super wrong about this character, right?
Bien évidemment, parce que la régie strike.
And that's okay with me. If I turn out to be wrong about Fairy, oh my god, is she dead?
Tellement mal.
Yep. Ooh, dude, what no BP does to a motherfucker. Is Fairy considered top tier still? Yeah, to my understanding, by most people who aren't me. I'm very willing to, you know, a couple months down the line, just go, yeah, I was wrong. You guys were right. Fairy was still really good after she got nerfed. That's on me. Maybe even not that long. But right now, I think a Fairy is like fine. I think Fairy is a solid, fine character, but she doesn't strike me as a character who needs to be nerfed. But to my understanding, I'm very alone in that sentiment. A lot of people have Fairy, like, maybe not quite as good as Matera, but like right up there. Yeah. And so I'm, you know, here, hey, there's a Fairy in Grand Finals here, and it's not like I don't really care about results too much, but it's also just like Fairy has been doing good shit. It's been hard for characters to fight her, and not just like Ladiva, right? It's not so much that I just care about skipping to the end, looking at the results, going, there's a Fairy in Grands, Fairy must be broken. It's more so if you just watch how she's playing here, like it certainly seems to be an effective game plan that is hard for a lot of these characters to stop. So perhaps I'm wrong, right? Perhaps I'm wrong. I still don't think I'm on that train, but I'm very open to, you know, if 2 months later I'm like, yeah, so Fairy has actually been top tier for like 4 months, or like even after she got nerfed, she was still top tier basically. I'm down to be wrong on that. The UK will unfortunately probably have a wave of people voting right wing because they don't trust the Labour Party anymore. Mark my words on that. Shit sucks. Yeah. I think basically. So I'm no political analyst, right? I'm just a guy, but it seems to me that like a big part of this around the world essentially is that this idea of people are losing faith in the system. The system has failed people. People cannot, like, populist sentiment is popular now. Yeah, people can't find jobs. The economy's getting worse everywhere. Everything sucks, right? It's differing levels in different countries, but by and large, people are not happy with the system as stands. And the right wing has seemed to be, they're kind of outflanking the left wing on this, right? Because when people are happy with the system, you can just go with moderates all the way down, and moderates kind of just, it becomes very hard for anyone who isn't a moderates to win anything. But right now, moderates are kind of disappearing because no one is happy with how things are. The question is, do you think that the reason that you can't find, you're losing faith in liberalism? Exactly, as they should, by the way. But the thing is, when you're like, okay, well, you know, I can't find a job. I feel like I'm less and less rich every year. I feel like every generation is getting worse off. Like everything sucks. The world seems so bleak. Basically, do you go, oh, the problem is the immigrants and the brown people, and the people who don't look like me, and the woke and the trans? Or do you go, the problem is like billionaires, corporations, capitalism, systemic racism, etc., right? The problem is, though, that all of those, there's a very large sum of people who are in the middle there who don't really have a very strong opinion on which way it is. But it feels like the right wing has very much outflanked the left wing and going, no, it's the browns and the trans. It's the browns and the trans and the woke. That's the problem. That's why you can't find a job. And they've gotten that message out much faster than any, like, relevant, you know, like, more left-wing voice has, like, anti-capitalist, like, anti-white nationalist voice has been able to get that shit out. So I think that's a big reason with the whole, like, the big swing to the right is just, again, microcosmed by America, right? Certainly. It's easier to spew bullshit for real, yeah. Where's the discourse I just walked into? It's been a hell of a stream, GBH. To speak on this as a member of an ex-Soviet satellite country, I do not want socialism to come back. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know about an economic system to organize the world with, necessarily. I don't know if it's communism or capitalism or, like, democratic socialism or whatever. I haven't done enough reading to pump my fist and tell you that. But I'll tell you that, I mean, at the very least, I do want socialist reforms. I want our system currently to swing more left. Yeah. At the very least, right, the current capitalist system that we have right now is very quickly becoming, like, it's going to become indistinguishable from everything that you hated about Stalin, like, in your lifetime, if things continue moving in this direction, right? So it's like, I'm not even saying that, like, I'm not saying, like, oh, you know, Soviet Russia was good, actually. I'm saying that, like, this is getting worse, and it's got to go one direction or the other, right? Basically. If we actually had leftists, then things could potentially be different, right? Out. Reset, by the way. This is the reset, yes. Skill stays alive. Ironically, everything is fucked. I feel like there's no right answer. I'm just tired, so fucking tired. That's again, you always gotta fight that feeling, man. Right? That is the point. Like that's what they're trying to get you to be. They're trying to get you to be tired and check out and just go, I guess it's all hopeless. It's not. It really isn't. I think it's very important to remember that, like, I mean, in the US, for example, as recently as like the 40s, you guys had like an 80% tax on the rich, right? FDR is not like, you know, before Reagan, you guys were actually doing a pretty good job, and it's why you became the most powerful country in the world, yes? Besides also just the aftermath of World War II being a layup for you guys, for sure. Like, economically, you guys are doing a pretty good job at the whole egalitarianism thing. It hasn't been this way forever, and it doesn't have to be this way forever, and it's not nearly as hard to change it as you think. Soviet Russia wasn't actually socialist at all. Yes, I don't want to get into the economic conversations of like actually that wasn't real communism, etc., because I think those end up going in circles, and it's like, well, this isn't real capitalism, and that's true, but then it becomes a matter of like, well, how the fuck do you even ever end up with the possibility of implementing real, quote unquote, whatever the fuck that means? I don't think I care. My point is, you know, in reality, the current system is swinging to be even worse than anything that Soviet Russia did pretty soon. So you gotta do something else. But I think, yeah, we can get really high-minded with it and talk about reorganizing the world and shit like that. Again, if there's one thing that I want people to focus in on, right? The one thing that keeps me sane anyway is that at the end of the day, you don't have to change the world. You have to change like 3 people around you. The one thing that you have, the one advantage that you have over like the quote-unquote elites is that there's lots of you, right? So if you just change the minds of 3 people around you and they change the minds of 3 people around them, you become a virus that changes the world. Out. Out. Don't worry about, like, don't get apathetic. Don't be like, everything's just so fucked and I don't know what the right answer is. Just, like, talk to people. Right? Break them out of their, break your neighbors out of their societal brainwashing and things will get better. Hope is a pyramid scheme? It is, man. How I feel about Fairy as far as cool factor, I think she might be the only zoner I enjoy watching. I think I like a cool factor. I like like the shit that Matera does to people when you butterfly lands or any butterfly lands or like her throw bait or something like that. I think is very cool. Don't forget Luigi either. There are a lot of us and they're scared of us. Exactly. So you don't have to, like, I think if you start thinking about how the fuck do I save the world by myself tomorrow, you're going to cry yourself to sleep, and that's what they want you to do. All you have to do, right? All you have to do is get like one other person on your side and then start the vacuum that way. And hey, if you have some position of privilege, like if you have a platform, if you have a megaphone, right? If you are a man, right? Or if you're like masculine passing and you can get access to these like masculine spaces, maybe talk to some of your boys about how maybe women have it rougher than they thought, right? Like where possible, use your privilege, whether it's money or race or gender or anything, right? To get the message out more effectively to people that, you know, more marginalized people might not have access to, right? Just make sure they are actually, you know, make sure they're actually listening to them and spreading the correct message. It's still exhausting though. I barely have the energy to eat. Then take care of yourself first, man. Right? Then don't do anything until, right? It's okay. Don't do anything until your own situation gets better. Right? Put your own oxygen mask on first. Then unironically, don't do anything. Right? If you're in a position where you're a little bit more comfortable, because it is emotional labor. You're absolutely right. It's emotional labor. If you're in a position where you have that extra bit of energy and you can put that emotional labor in, then do it. Right? But like, absolutely, if you're not, put your own oxygen mask on first. Get yourself whatever you need to do, whether it's, you know, trying to fix your financial situation, whether it's trying to fix your mental health, your physical health, whatever it is, right? Get yourself to a position where you are okay. The most important person to take care of first is just, yeah, put on your own oxygen mask. You can't like be a positive change in other people if you can barely stay awake. So it's okay. And you're not doing anything wrong there. You're not like, it's not like, oh, I'm not doing enough, quote unquote. I mean, listen, I know we just talked about Soviet Russia and shit like that. And I don't know if this is going to get me fucking copyright stricken by YouTube because apparently, I don't know if they consider this like a fucking terrorist or something like that. But like, you know, from each according to his ability, to each according to his needs, right? Like from each according to his ability. At the end of the day, the only thing that you need to do is your best. If you're not in a position where you can actually like do all of this like emotional labor of like educating the people around you, then like don't. right? Don't. Do as much as you can. And if that's nothing, if that's just surviving for now because we live in the lamest dystopia you could possibly imagine, then just do that. Just survive. You are doing the world a huge service by just continuing to survive. And if you can improve your situation, right, then do your best to do so. And maybe someone, hopefully, maybe even someone else can come along and help with that. If not, just do whatever you can. Do your best. That's it. If you barely have the energy to eat, then just eat and move on. Why couldn't we at least end up in a dystopia that has drip? For real, man. This wellness character making me feel great. Kind of broken-ass wellness, though. One day at a time? Exactly. Instead, we underestimate the power of telling our peers, hey, that's not cool. It's true, man. It's true. Like, I'll tell you an example, right? This is not, by the way, I promise this is not me, like, being like, look at how fucking cool I am. But it's like, this is the kind of thing that you might think is, like, really, like, meaningless, but it actually matters, right? I was talking to a friend of mine, right? And there's a very big culture. I don't apologies if you're black, you definitely know this. But apologies if you somehow don't know this. There's a very big culture among just guys everywhere of just saying racist shit as a joke for fun, right? Guys who shouldn't be saying the N-word, right, with their friends, etc., etc. Guys who shouldn't be making jokes about, like, Indian people or Mexican people or something like that, making those kind of jokes. It's just a thing that happens, right? So like, I a situation like that come up with a friend who is, like, he's a good person, but obviously, and like, but, you know, so you just, a lot of this gets turned into, like, culture, and it becomes, you know, like, misogyny becomes a bonding practice, racism becomes a bonding practice, right? And it's being like, hey, man, that's not cool. Like, you shouldn't do that. Like, unironic, like, saying, like, or, like, you know, one of them, was talking about Sonic Fox, and they were like, oh, he's so good. And I was like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's they, them, actually. And they're like, oh, okay. And then they said they are so good, right? Like, it might sound like nothing. It might sound stupid, but, like, even something as small as that, like, just, again, this is use what position you have and the access to spaces that you have that other people might not to change what you can within those spaces. And again, if you can't, then don't, right? If you can't, then don't. That's fine. But whatever you can do, do. I know this too well. Yeah, like, what you said basically is very true, Pedro, right? We underestimate the ability of telling our peers, hey, that's not cool. Oh yeah, guys love those kinds of jokes. I've been over it for 24 years, indeed. I know the one thing that made me happy is to see people correct people for me about my pronouns. Yeah. Because I mean, the unfortunate, again, you have to be very careful to not dip into, like, privileged savior complex here, right? You are not saving the poor, innocent, infantilized, marginalized people who can't help themselves. Absolutely not, right? Do really try. Like, if at any point being an ally makes you feel super cool and, like, you're doing something awesome, then you probably are doing it wrong, yeah? But just the way you think of it, it's like, it would be awesome. Unfortunately, sometimes people don't listen to marginalized people about their own problems. That's kind of like one of the main side effects of them being marginalized. Yeah. People do not listen to them about their own problems. Like, people may not listen to a woman about her own problems. Like, when a woman describes her life to a man, he'll go, that sounds, women, T emoji, and he'll just ignore it, right? But unfortunately, if you as a man present a feminist argument to another man, they are much more likely to go, you know, I never thought about it like that. It shouldn't be the case, and God knows your dumbass, my dumbass, is not the expert, right? My dumbass is not the expert on, like, you know, the female experience, but, like, it's a damn shame that if I present that kind of argument to a lot of my male friends, they will listen to me more than they would if a woman presented that argument to them. So it's not a matter of, like, oh, you know, these poor women, these poor minorities, these poor, you know, queer folk, like, they just can't do it themselves. I have to use my big, strong man muscles to help them. No, it's not what it is. But it's just a matter of, like, you know, where possible, utilize the privilege given to you by the system to get people to listen to you and maybe change their minds for the better. I think it's when kids turning into teens are beginning to push the boundaries, but also never had the chance to mature beyond that. Yeah, I mean, again, yeah. People are more likely to listen to someone who's like them. Exactly. So, like, you know, if you are, like, white or a man or straight or, you know, in any way, quote unquote, like, the default person that the system assumes, and you are privileged as a result, and you can use that privilege to, like, defend the viewpoints, or, like, not even defend, I would say present the viewpoints of more marginalized people to, like, people who don't understand that because they'll listen to you. That's a good way to use it too. Something as simple as, like, when your buddy, like, makes some joke about how women are crazy or something like that, go, hey man, like, that's not cool, and maybe, like, here's why. And hopefully, if you have good friends, they're just brainwashed by the system. They don't actually want to hurt anyone. So if you explain it to them, hopefully they're down to listen. If they're not, it's up to you if you want to do the emotional labor of, do I try and fucking educate this dumbass, or do I just go, maybe this person isn't my friend? It's up to you. Truth is, most people go with the flow. If someone they value is not fine with some fuck shit they say, they're far more likely to respect that than adjust. Exactly. And it's a damn shame that, you know, on a fundamental level, the systems we live in teach you to not value the people who should have, like, whose opinion you should be listening to the most. I feel like the crime thing, most people aren't born hating random people they know nothing about, have to be taught that. Yes, again, if there's one sentence that I really loved, I can't remember, I heard someone said it, and I couldn't remember who. It was some creator I was watching who was talking about something, but they basically, the line was just, systems not people, systems not people, systems not people, systems not people, systems not people. Think about it in terms of systems and not people. Yeah, like, because that it shapes so much more of our, like, it's an ego hit, but you are so shaped by the system you live in ways that you don't even understand, right? The reason that, you know, a lot of men are misogynists is not because men are misogynists by default. It's because they're in a system that raises them to be that way. Yeah. And then every other intersection you can imagine, and it goes that way too. You gotta know how to cut people out who won't change and just want to be mean. Yeah, that's up to you at that point. That very much, I can't help you with that. That's very much like a personal. You know the people in your life and whether or not that there's actually hope to them. You know that more than I do. Systems not people, man. Systems not people. Criminals are made by the system, not born as people. Racists are made by the system, not born as people. Misogynists are made by the system, not born as people. I had a flash of the Granblue footage behind this, being like those TikTok clips of podcasts with Subway Surfers, Family Guy funny moments in the background. Yeah. By the way, I mean, skill is on tournament point. Okay, if we lock systems not people, that's very important. If we lock back in for a second, skill might win right now. Actually, hold up. One H dash punch away is all he is here. H dash punch is a fucking jump scare that just kills Fairy here, even in the mid screen. Wait. The set has been nuts, by the way. I unfortunately have not been paying attention. But we've been talking about important stuff. But that's why I hate 6XL, not the players using it. Systems, not people. For real. Uh-oh. Wait, it's getting away from him. It's getting away. Oh, that was it. Yeah, you have to send it. Alright. They got the reset. I did see that part, yeah. Damn. Alright, what? Hold up. Broken ass Fairy? It could happen. The set has been amazing. I'm glad someone's been paying attention, even if my dumbass hasn't. Even if my dumbass hasn't, I'm glad someone has been. One last thing on this, because we're gonna finish this and then end the stream anyway. But just one last thing, right? We gotta get to the Gallia portion of the stream. I love her tits are huge. I was literally talking to one of my friends yesterday about how I think I literally play worse into Gallian, especially if someone has the DLC skin. Like, I'm literally, it's like almost embarrassing, but like I actually am distracted. Like, she's so pretty and hot also. Like, it's a little embarrassing, genuinely. But I think I do genuinely play worse into Gallian. I'm only human, after all. It's true. I'm only human. The last thing I want to talk about on this, actually, because this is something interesting. My older brother works in a management capacity now. Like, he's doing well for himself. He's moved up in his career, and he manages a bunch of blue-collar factory workers. And they are, from what I understand, not pleasant people. Like, they are straight up, just like, they're not very nice to him, right? He's younger than a lot of them. Like, they are kind of dicks to him. And there was one point where he mentioned to me, he was like, you know, like, he's like doing this shit, like interacting with these people makes it a lot harder to, like, fuck with the proletariat, which is a crazy thing. Because he's talking about how, like, you know, he is very much the petite bourgeoisie at this point, right? If you understand those terms. And I was like, it was a very important aspect of, like, even if these people are, like, rough and they are, like, curt and they're a little mean and they're harsh and things like this, again, systems, not people, right? Systems, not people. Those people were made that way because of the fact that they didn't come from means. Exactly. Yes. Because of the fact they didn't come from means, and we live in a hellscape where the amount of money you have determines how easy your life is, right? Those people just lived a very harsh life full of struggle and trauma. So yes, they might have come out of it the other end assholes, and you could totally like it's also super valid to be like that guy's an asshole, but it's very important to look at okay, that guy's an asshole, but that doesn't mean that like poor people need to be executed, right? Think about what the world that turned that guy into an asshole. Be mad at that world. Don't be mad at that guy. Also, TG, I'm sorry. Be mad at that guy. You know what I mean? I want that asshole to have healthcare still. Yeah. And if that asshole lived in a world where he didn't have to be working 2 jobs and he had healthcare and like he had, you know, he could go to a good school that wasn't underfunded or something like that, maybe he just wouldn't have been an asshole in the first place. That was like, that was actually, I was talking about, I was like, systems not people, systems not people, systems not people, right? Be mad at the system that made him that way. But also, anyways, sorry. Broken ass fairy. Yes. Listen, man, again, listen. Maybe I'm wrong. I think I'm going to be a little... I don't think Fairy is so weak, but I will say, remember when I put Fairy in, like, low tier, like, a few months ago? I'm definitely wrong about that. That was an overreaction to her nerf. I don't think that Fairy is, like, a bad character. I don't think Fairy is a character that's, like, so weak that I'm surprised to see her win or anything like that. Like, she can win this tournament, and I can still be right. You know what I mean? So I don't think I believe that Fairy's a top tier yet. Wasn't she low tier because of her far L bug? That definitely, I was factoring that in slightly, yes. But it's like that, you know, she can still be like a high mid tier, low high tier character, and I'm, you know, and I could be whatever. But I don't think I believe that Fairy is like a top tier or even top tier adjacent character yet, right? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I am very much in the minority on that opinion. I am very much in the minority on that opinion. Somehow Fairy not top tier is the most controversial thing you've said this stream. Well, because everything else is just bars. Always hating the guy misogyny culture and then realizing I was just a girl the whole time. So based. So based. Wait, I had the guy misogyny culture too, but I'm pretty sure I'm a guy. Right? I'm like, it's okay. I think I'm, yeah. That governments do not invest in proper education in most places, either pure incompetence or done on purpose. Yeah. And we know, for example, in the case of a lot of black neighborhoods in America, it is literally done on purpose, right? Can you talk to people in education? It's incompetence? It depends on where you're from. This might be a European take. I don't know enough about European, like, race history and stuff like that, outside of, like, when you guys invented racism about 700 years ago. But, yeah, in some cases, it's intentional. I just realized gender is a scam, and now I'm all of them? That's based. I don't think I've broken out of that conditioning yet. I very much still, I very much still feel like, I'm like, yeah, like, I'm a man. I identify very heavily with that gender. Collecting genders like Granblue summons. Yeah. Even without any of her advanced setups, if Matera wasn't a true menace, people will be calling Fairy top 5? Maybe. It might be the Matera effect. I might be like, well, there's a better... I might be doing the same thing to Fairy that I was mad at people doing to all the Shotos that weren't like Catalina and Percival like a year ago, right? Where I was just like, well, Matera is the best zoner, so obviously Fairy's not so good. That might be what I'm doing. I don't think that's what I'm doing, right? I don't think that's what I'm doing. But yeah. You can factor a lot of dumb stuff to incompetence. It just makes it harder to uncover real intentional evil shit. Yeah, in some ways, Hanlon's razor is a dog whistle. But in some ways, it's not. It does work. But in some ways, you gotta... evil, again, I don't think it's evil. I think evil, again, the ideas of good and evil are kind of inherently, like, liberal concepts, I think. Because you need to find a way to explain things that isn't the system is working as intended. You know, there have to be, like... The system is good fundamentally, but there are these evil people who are corrupting it. It's like, no, I think the system is bad. Like, the fact that everything sucks is exactly what it's supposed to do. But yeah. It's not conscious from the Fairy player standpoint. I can say she's so strong, I'm genuinely nervous about some nerfs. That's valid. Listen, again, I could be wrong. I see Fairy as, like, good. Right? Fairy's a good character. I don't... like, maybe I have to sit down and really... I haven't re-examined her since she got nerfed. Maybe I have to sit down and think about it a little bit. Right? We live in online balanced discourse meta? Yeah. Maybe I have to sit down and think about her a little bit more, but right now, like, the thing I would put in Fairy in my head is just Fairy is good. Yeah, fine, right? Fine bordering on good. But I could be wrong. I know I'm relatively in the minority. It's not like, it's like, oh, everyone else has this opinion, so I must be wrong. It's more so, a lot of people better than me at the game have this opinion. And it makes me wonder if I'm missing something. You know? The purpose of a system is what it does. Unlocked parts of my brain, unironically. Yep. That's a great line. Yes, there's a lot of very smart people have made very good observations about this shit, as it turns out. Not to judge a lot of characters with Matera and Luane being right there. I mean, Matera lost this tournament and Fairy won it, so. Fairy's issues or matchups are all either very in her favor or very against her, so her power feels different than what it might actually be. I think it depends on what matchups are very against her, you know what I mean? And what matchups are very in her favor. If she's like very good into lots of meta relevant characters, then that makes her good. That's just, it's simple as that. But if a lot of the matchups that are rough for her are you know, if there's more characters that are very relevant that she loses to, then like if she beats Ladiva, it doesn't really matter that much, you know? Now, I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm not saying she only beats Ladiva. But I'm saying, like, for example, her having such a great matchup into Ladiva doesn't matter too much for her, like, evaluation of power because Ladiva is not super meta relevant. Is there any specific change to a specific character you had in your mind that you'd like to see in a future patch? Oh, a bunch. Yeah. I mean, if they could actually nerf... I mean, they have to probably undo everything they did to Rain of Arrows to stop Matera's U Butterfly loops. They have to actually nerf U Butterfly. Luane, U Fireball needs to go away on hit. There's a lot of things individually with Luane, honestly, too. Human Pyramids probably needs to never be safe on block, right? I still think Percy's on paper the strongest character in the game, but the other strong characters really keep him down. Yeah, I think that's... I'm definitely... Percival, at least. Catalina, slightly. Percival, heavily. I'm going to move down in my in my tier list in my head, because I have to just... Percival has maybe the worst matchup in the game into Matera, and that matters a lot. And he also has, like, a really shit matchup into Luane as well. And he has, like, no way to fight those characters, damn near. That matters, right? Catalina doesn't like fighting those characters, but Percy gets... rocked. And honestly, like, if Fairy is really good, then Fairy too. Fairy would beat his ass as well. Not maybe as much, but Fairy would beat his ass too, right? And Eustace, right? Who's also not quite as good as any of the characters I just mentioned, but Eustace beats the shit out of Percival also, right? Like, this, it just turns out, you know, if you get completely rocked by zoners, it's kind of rough, no matter how good you are. I will say I'm not moving away from Fairy for power reasons. She feels unbelievably reliable still. Bonus just makes me happy. Agreed. I also find myself wanting to play shit tons of Willness, and it's because he just makes my Luane and Matera are like really troublesome. You'd say? I'd say so. I'd say they are very good characters, and Luane, Matera. I mean, Beatrix is one of the only characters that slides past them, and she's also just really good. Beatrix is in there too. Again, like, if we're gonna nerf Matera and Luane, then I would also definitely want nerfs to Percival and Catalina as well. Yeah. Because I think those characters are somewhat being kept in check, essentially, by that. There's a bunch of, like, characters that are a little weaker, but you could certainly still, like, you could still nerf them to be totally fine, right? Willness is in that camp, absolutely. Like, Willness is definitely a character deserving of nerfs. I don't think he's quite as good as anyone I just mentioned, but, like, Willness definitely counts. Right? Versuja counts there. Cagliostro is probably actually in, like, not, this is not like a character that's weaker than the characters I just mentioned. Cag probably is just that high up also, by the way. Right. What about Grim? Grim is really good, I think. Also, I think I've been underestimating Grim a little bit because of also just the fact that Grim is pretty good into into a lot of the very meta-relevant characters I just mentioned, right? He's quite good into Luane and Matera. Well, I think he's pretty good into Matera. I'm not sure how good he is into Luane, actually. I'm not sure how much he fucks with Luane. I think it could be decent. He's also pretty decent into the mid-range characters, right? He's pretty decent into, like... Eustace is actually probably a little rough for him because of slow kill, right? But I think Grim is also just strong in a vacuum and then also very good into the meta. I think Grim could definitely... I definitely have been sleeping on Grim a little bit. Grim is nerf-worthy on paper, but nobody relevant plays Grim, so his power is vague. Yeah, he did get nerfed, and I think I slightly overreacted to how much of Grim's power comes from, you know, his base kit, and how much of it comes from just him being very good into the meta right now. Grim is worse. Grim got nerfed in a significant way, but I think that character is still very good, just because he's very good into characters that matter. You know? What is Zane on? I think Zane is, he was talking about picking up Eustace, but I don't know if I've seen him actually play it in, like, a major tournament. 2xKO? Yeah, that's true. That's actually true. Zane's on 2ko, man. I mean, as far as Arc World Tour, by the way, Zane is fucking big chilling, right? Like, for Granblue, Zane's already in the finals anyway, so he doesn't, like, he could just show up for the Arc World Tour finals and be chilling. Speaking of which, by the way, so yeah, Shio won this as well. I wanna Arc World Tour. I wanna find the Arc World Tour page for 2025. Arc World Tour 2025. Liquipedia. Zane said after Frosty he's gonna lock in on Granblue more. That makes sense. Again, Zane is already a lock for finals. Yeah, look at him. There's no way he doesn't get in on points. So yeah, him locking back in on Granblue like once the finals are looming, that makes sense. Yeah, Shio, by the way, is doing God's work. He won 2 golds in a row, right? Let me go down here. Granblue. Yeah, right. Shio won this and this, so he just got 200 points, like just out of fucking nowhere. Shio is suddenly like he's fourth on points. Like Shio is basically locked on points now. Maybe not. There are still a couple of platinums and stuff like that, but Shio's looking very, very strong on points. And if he performs at all at Cy Games Cup, like if he gets like 6th at Cy Games Cup, he's gonna be big chilling, right? And then with what we just had Vivi get first there, right? I don't think, does Vivi have Arc World Tour points currently? Not a meaningful enough amount, I don't think, right? Unless I'm missing them somewhere here. I don't think they're in the top 30. They just got 100. Right? So I don't know if those were their first or what. Yeah. Arafu got like 7th, I think. They'll get a little bit of points out of that. Yeah, I mean, Skill got his 2nd place, so his point. I don't think this is reflected yet, but 2nd place at a gold is 45. Yeah, so Skill got a few more points as well. Kind of give him a nice little cushion there. I mean, Skill is also one of the people that's probably kind of locked. Yeah. Skill is almost certainly locked for Arc World Tour Finals as well at this point. I mean, he's been performing crazy on the Soras all year. Interesting. Yes, we don't have that many more tournaments left, right? We don't have that many more tournaments left. Nothing next weekend. We do have a big gold event in Japan after that. Yeah, then we very quickly move into our last remaining 2 platinums. So things are crystallizing, but there's still like 4 golds, right? Is like several hundreds of points up for grabs between like 1st, 2nd, 4th, 5th and stuff like that for all these different events. And then the 2 platinums, besides just the winners obviously getting auto qualified, there's also just coming 2nd and 3rd even in those, a shit ton of points, right? 2nd at a platinum plus is 200. 2nd at a platinum is 150. So there's still a lot of potential shakeup in the standings that could happen. But certainly things are, I would imagine, again, that probably up to around Skill at the very least. Like, we know 9 people who are in here. Chio likely will be there too, but hard to say. Teemo's absolutely undisputed top 1 right now. I heard that, right? Because they like finally nerfed Echo, to my understanding, in a way that matters. And as a result, like Echo still, I don't play Tuco at all, right? But to my understanding, Echo is like good but more reasonable now. They nerfed Yasuo, so he's also like good but reasonable. I forget who the 4th horseman was. But it's like all the other characters who were like crazy good. Jinx, was it Jinx? But then like they just didn't nerf Teemo. So now it's like Teemo just kind of Ari? Oh, Ari, okay. All I remember is like fucking like month 1, smoke him if you got him. Like Jinx doubled, double down fuse bullshit that Sonic Fox was doing. But anyway, so they nerfed all the characters except Teemo, and now Teemo is just God, is my understanding. Currently Warwick is 5th horseman because he's bugged. That's funny. Yasuo, Echo, Teemo, Ari. Gotcha. That makes sense. Jerry's not out on Yasuo yet. I still think he's getting away with murder. Fair. But yeah, Teemo, to my understanding, is the lead devil, which honestly, hey, that really fits for League of Legends, right? Anyway, fellas, I think that's going to do it for me. Shout out to Broken Ass Fairy winning the gold event. We'll actually be playing some Granblue tomorrow. Who the fuck are we on right now? We're playing Lucilius. All right. Fun. Yeah, no, for sure. We'll be playing some fucking Lucy tomorrow, so have fun with that. For now, my condolences. Yeah. For now, have a wonderful rest of your day, fellas. Hope, I know we didn't really talk about Granblue too much, but I hope you guys enjoyed the stream for what it's worth. And I'll see you tomorrow. Peace. Oh, good luck with your Libra aces as well. Do 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 do.